Fortunately, we don't reason like that. Anybody thinking that Igbo presidency 2023 will stop us? What we want is Biafra, and what we're going to get is Biafra.
Declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land.
Special greetings from here to all of you, Umuchineke, all Biafrans all over the nations, the world, and ODUDUWA citizens all over the world. I want to welcome you to this live broadcast today, the 11th of November, 2022. Today is Saturday and Friday, the 11th of November, 2022, and we are here live to discuss as not just Biafra, but together as an alliance, Biafra and ODUDUWA. It promises to be a wonderful section. I promise you that you're going to learn a lot today, and you're going to know why we are doing what we're doing. Today is a special day, and I want you to please, if you need to take a pen and a paper, just write, because we are going to get some basic facts today. Remember, our quest for freedom is not non-negotiable. We are not negotiating it. We are very firm, we are very desirous, and we are very, very desperate to get our freedom according to our timetable. And our freedom we shall get according to our timetable. We are making it known to the Nigeria country, or whatever it's called, is a contraption. We are making it known to the Nigeria contraption that we are more legitimate than Nigeria. And we have evidence that we are doing the right thing, and they should just give up and allow peace to reign, or else it is not going to be as easy as they think. Because we know that in Africa, when you want to talk about freedom, they turn it to a fight. And we are telling them we want it by referendum. But anyhow they want to bring it to us, we are ready. And so we're going to be talking extensively on these matters. And I want to tell you that my guests, Prince Iheanacho is already in the studio. And also we are waiting very soon. KOIKIMEDIA will be joining us very shortly. We had a problem with the network, and it was disturbing for the past 3-4 hours. We've been struggling to get into the studio, but it's not long ago that the link was, I could retrieve the link and send it forth. And so we're expecting him very soon. So just get yourself prepared, because it's going to be very, very explosive. I promise you, it's going to be very, very explosive. We have 3 sessions today. We're going to be talking about the nullity, the nullity of Nigeria. We're going to prove that Nigeria is not supposed to exist. And then we're going to tell you about the validity of the alliance. And then we're going to tell you about the benefits of the alliance. These are the 3 sessions we're going to be having. We're going to be talking about the nullity of Nigeria, why Nigeria is not supposed to exist, why Nigeria cannot exist, because it is null, void, it is illegal, and it does not hold any waters. It does not have any local standing to actually exist. 2, we're going to be talking about the legitimacy of the alliance, and how the alliance is legal, and how the alliance is both guaranteed even with the United Nations Charter and all the laws that you have internationally. Then we're going to talk about the benefits of this alliance to you, me, and everyone in the nations involved, and of course to Africa. And it's going to be a very, very great one. I tell you that this time around we have gotten it right, and we are set to enter into our freedom. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and this is Biafra Global Network. I want to thank Mazi Simon Ekpa, who has endorsed this opportunity, and also who is taking us in this course of freedom in the autopilot mood that we are. I want to thank him, the dragon himself. I want to appreciate him for what he's doing. And on behalf of the autopilot media team, I appreciate him strongly. And also I want to appreciate my comrades in the autopilot media team. And remember, this is just the premiere program. We're going to still have the mega joint media broadcast that will bring every member of the autopilot media with the ODUDUWA counterparts, and we're going to be having a massive discussion together. It promises, I tell you, this time around we are taking it in a different way. And of course, we have the legality with us. We are legally permitted to do this. There's nowhere in the world that we are doing anything illegal. So we are sure and certain of what we're doing. I also want to thank the Umuada, who have been standing strong and doing their beats, in their own way, and all that they are doing, and everything that everyone is doing in your corners, the committees and other, the ESN, the alliance, the alliance on the ground, everybody who is doing one particular work or the other, who is actually doing their beats wherever they are, you are recognized on this platform today. I want to tell you that it's going to be very, very explosive, and it's going to be very educating, it's going to be very informative, and it's going to be very entertaining. As soon as we have our guest in the house, definitely KOIKIMEDIA, Olayomi, Koiki, once he's in the house, I'll let you know. But we already have Prince Ezem Iheanacho in the house, and he's going to be coming on in the studio very soon. I'm going to be introducing them to you shortly. But I tell you, now the reason why we are standing strong and boldly doing what we're doing is because we know that what we're doing is right. And what we're doing is very, very important. And what we are doing is firm and correct in the eyes of the international community. So we are not joking about the alliance. We're not joking about the togetherness. We're not joking about the relationship. We're not joking about our freedom. We are sure of what we're doing because we have what it takes to prove to the world that what we are doing is right. And I tell you, we're going to prove it here that Nigeria is not supposed to exist in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, my ODUDUWA brothers, my Biafra brothers, we have the two guests in the house. We have Prince Ezem Iheanacho in the house. We also have Olayomi KOIKIMEDIA in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, Biafrans, all over the nations of the world, I don't know how to tell you to clap. I would have said you give them a clap offering as they come in, as I bring them up to the stage. I would have said a clap offering, but I know that I will not hear your clappings. But anyways, I can see your signs and everything from every corner. And I'm going to tell you that they are in the house already, in the room already. And I tell you that by the time they are coming up on screen, you are going to then begin to understand the gravity of what we are doing this day. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome to you the strong man from the ODUDUWA world, Olayomi KOIKIMEDIA, Prince Ezem Iheanacho. I think he just went off. I think the network is going to be coming on now, right now. I actually wanted to put him up now, but I think the network is somehow shaking. But he's going to be up here again shortly. Prince Ezem Iheanacho representing the Biafra world. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming. I salute you from here. And also, again, Olayomi Okoye is right here with us. Please, everybody, please just put your hands together because it's going to be very, please, Prince Ezem, please say hi to Biafrans before Olayomi Koiki takes also greets ODUDUWA people and Biafra people. Please greet everybody, both ODUDUWA and Biafra. Thank you so much.
In God we trust, and we dedicate this platform now to God Almighty, to Oluwa, our creator and our maker. Amen. So it becomes a hallowed platform. Hello, yes. Hello. Can I start by thanking two of you that are here? Olayomi Koiki, it's nice to have you, my dear brother. We've come a long way, and God had a mission for us to accomplish, and we give God all the glory for that. My dear good brother, Kelechi, I thank you for being here, and I thank God for all that He is using you to accomplish in this day, in this season of freedom for humanity. I want to welcome all ODUDUWA brothers and sisters. And I want to welcome all Biafran brothers and sisters. God has destined this day to come for a purpose. And we commit all our endeavors into His hands, and we ask Him to power us as we physically go for our freedom without fear, without favor. He gave us that freedom from source. The criminals of this earth tried to deny us that freedom. Today, God has merged our souls together and has committed us to that one singular purpose. We are happy to sacrifice whatever it takes to obtain that freedom. So however we come back in 20, 100, 50, 200 years to come, we'll find that our children and our great-grandchildren have been served properly by us, and we can't deny them this right. So I welcome you all, and I look forward to this awesome exchange. to affirm our collaboration, our cooperation, and our complement with one another in pursuit of one dream. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I say, he said to your prayers, and I say, me, need to look or Jesus. I think I got it. I got it right here now. I want to also introduce to us formally here our brother from the ODUDUWA kingdom and ODUDUWA world, ODUDUWA nation. Please, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters from the ODUDUWA world and from the Biafra world, I welcome to you Olayomi Koiki. Wow, the network, I think he's going to be back very soon. Please just hold on. He's going to be back. I think the network signal is actually playing some pranks here, but definitely we know that we're going to get it right. And of course, he's here again. And so please, I welcome you. Please, my brother, please, Olayomi Koiki, the floor is yours. Please say hi to Biafrans and also to ODUDUWA people. Thank you so much, sir, for attending. Thank you. Please say hi to us, please. Please, you're muted, please. Just check there. I think you're muted. Yes, please check the audio. I think somewhere. Yes, somewhere it's not. Please hang on, please, people. Please, people, hang on, please. Let's sort out the audio so that we can. Yes, no sound. We know there's no sound. That's what we're trying to ratify. Please, just we're trying to ratify that. You know.
We're here to stay. We're here to stay. We are ready to. Yes, we're here to stay. We'll get it right.
Yes, we'll get it right. We'll get it right.
It's a hallowed platform.
Yes, it's a hallowed platform. We thank God because it's going to be a great day. We have 3 sessions that we are going to be looking on, you know, at today, and of course, be diligently treating these 3 particular subsections under the grand topic of today. We want to analyze the issue of the alliance because people need to begin to understand what this alliance is all about. Sometimes when people hear alliance, they just think it's a kind of, you know, alliance, but they don't understand the depth of what it means and the facts and the details that are involved so that they will understand we are not here for jokes. And so that also we send a message to the enemies that what we are doing is not just one of those things that they think. Of course, everyone should understand what an alliance means. It means an agreement, you know, with you know, between nations and all of that for a particular purpose or a particular cause and a particular mandate. So the agreement here, you're going to understand the details. Now remember, they have fought these things in years. This agreement, this particular agreement, they have fought it for years so that we don't come to this point where we can come together and agree. They have fought it. The British have fought it. The Fulanis and their cohorts have fought this opportunity for the ODUDUWA world and the Biafra world to actually come together. And so they fought it all these years, but today we have gotten it. Sir, do you have anything to say about that? Before our brother comes in, KOIKIMEDIA is able to fix up that and comes in. What do you have to say? Okay, let me see if his audio is now. Let's see what is coming out. Please, Mr. Olayomi, is it okay now? Is the audio coming out now? Let's see if it's coming. We can still hear.
Well, we would hope that he can interrupt us.
Yes. Okay, please go on. Yes,
let him just feel free and interrupt us so he can introduce himself very well and greet our brothers.
As soon as you're able to come on, just interrupt us, please.
Interrupt us. We are happy to give way. Okay. Yes. You see, everything hinges on the truth. Everything hinges on the truth. Here he comes. Please interrupt us. Is it working now? Oh, something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong with his volume, with his audio. Yes. Okay, please, whenever you get it right, Olayomi, please do interrupt us. We are happy to hear from you. We are happy to hear your voice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that our ODUDUWA brothers and sisters and our Biafran brothers and sisters understand the importance of the truth, because it is the denial of the truth that created this evil system where the devil is always looking to divide you in order to put you into enslavement. Okay, it is propelled by lies where you're asked to deny your own brother, you're asked to deny your own sister, you're asked to, in fact, you are bribed to hate your own brother. You are bribed to destroy your own sister. It's only the devil's agenda, and it is all lies. The problem they have now is that we have arrived at the truth. And you know that the subject matter truth links us up to heaven, because God is the source of truth. Jesus, Yeshua, is the source of truth. And that's why no matter what anybody tells you, okay, no matter how the devil tries to confuse you, when you look at the antecedents of the genuine Jesus, you will see truth throughout, truth throughout, truth. Even his enemies couldn't give us evidence of any lies coming out of him. Even his enemies couldn't do it. And for those who are doubting the presence of Christ, the presence of Jesus, the presence of original Yeshua, let me reveal one truth to you now. Hopefully, before I finish revealing it, our brother would have interjected or interrupted me. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. If you want to understand the genuineness of Christ, you will suddenly realize that in all the so-called man-made religions, every mortal being propelling the activities of that religion, for example, in Islam, you have Muhammad. All of these mortal beings, because they are based on lies, there is no imitation. There is no imitation. Check every religion. Is it Buddha? Is it whatever? Check whoever they are following, whoever they are worshiping, whoever is their prophet. There is no duplicate. There is no, because they are all they have got, and lies can't have duplicate. Imitations don't have duplicate. You only have imitation where original exists. Now, because Christ is non-religious, okay? Christianity is not actually a religion. People need to know that, okay? Original Christ is not a separatist. It doesn't divide, believes in the commonality of man, okay? That's why his preaching was for everybody. He had no building where he says this is where we worship. No, his ministry was in public because it was for everyone. Christ united humanity. Christ came to save all. In fact, he came to save the sinners. That's why they had to give you imitation Jesus, the one they used to come and enslave you. The one they used to come and begin to plant seeds where seeds do not germinate. The ones they used to ask you to drop money and then it will multiply. That is imitation. They used it to confuse you because the original existed. The original still exists, the original Christ. Original Christ is a uniformer. He was non-discriminatory. In fact, he says, under the banner of Christ, there should be no more male or female, no more Jews nor Gentiles.
Let me check if he has come in with another.
If people can try, we can't wait to hear his voice. We can't wait to hear his voice.
Olayomi, can you hear us now? Let's see if this one will work. Can you hear? Let's see. Let me get that other line up again. I think I'm
please,
sure
if you can, that would be wonderful.
Yes, please. Let's see if we can hear you from there.
Still nothing.
Any of we still cannot hear from the second.
Let him keep trying. His presence here is good enough.
Yes, but we want to
want to make it better by hearing his voice.
Yes, very, very well.
Yes.
Very.
So I needed to lay the foundation of that truth, which is very critical, before I talk about the alliance, because I know there is a question you asked.
Yeah, I've not come to the question yet. I'm going to set the pace, and then we're going to go on that question. Now, maybe I should set the pace now, so wait for him to actually fix up. I know he's going to join us very soon with his voice. By God's grace, he's already with us. His presence is making an impact here also, and people are very excited to see him. But we're just waiting for the audio to be right, and then we can now go on with him. Now, let me set the pace here, because we're in the first session, the session which is nullity, the nullity of Nigeria. Now we want to prove that Nigeria is null and void. So we can now establish the fact that the alliance is what should be accepted by the people, and the alliance is the details of the alliance is what the people should begin to understand as what is real and right. Now, before we talk about any government, before we talk about creating government, just like we're talking about election now, let me bring him in. Let me see if he's. Please, can you say something? Let's know if it's set now. If we can hear you now.
All right, let me try and say something.
Yeah, Mr. Olayomi, if you can say something so that we can know if your voice is coming out. And then we can now, somebody said the devil is a liar, and truly the devil is a liar. This
is a liar. He will be defeated once and for all.
Of course. Yeah, our people say they are waiting. Definitely they are patiently waiting.
Yeah.
Trust our people. The devil cannot defeat us in this one. If they like, they fight it wherever they are fighting it from. It's not going to work out this time around. The fight this morning. I can tell you, sir, for 4 good hours, I was struggling to open the studio.
I sent you a message to tell you that the devil was working, but
yes. 4 good hours.
There is nothing beyond God. There is nothing beyond the truth. We'll get to the promised land. We're already there spiritually. We're just waiting for the manifestation.
I struggled to a point. I was so frustrated. I now said to myself, I now prayed, I now got angry. I laid my hand on the Wi-Fi. I said, God, if you have called me for this mission, let this thing work.
Amen.
And that is how this thing is working.
Amen. Amen. We will be experiencing miracles on our way whilst we walk. As far as we continue to work, we will be seeing the miracles. Yes. Olayomi, are you ready now? Is it better? What could be the problem? What could be the problem?
It's an audio problem. I think you can go to the setting and check the audio. But you can hear us, right?
Do you know what I'm going to do? Because I don't know whether I entered through his stream, because once I posted it to him, I entered through his stream. I don't know whether it could be the problem. Should I go and enter through my own stream, and then he enters through his own stream? I don't know with the hell. I don't know whether
through his stream. He has entered rightly. He has to enter before you can enter. If he has not entered, you cannot enter. So
because I used his stream to come in. I was here before him. I don't know whether I have taken his. I have stolen his destiny. I have stolen, like the pastors will say in Africa. I don't know whether I have stolen his destiny. Have I?
No, you have not. You have not.
We have so much madness going on. Let me just come through my own stream and see what happens. I'm gonna come in a minute.
Okay, let's try that. Let's try that and see. Let's try that and see. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be, don't worry, just calm down, relax. The devil is a liar. We're going to get it right. I assure you that we're going to hear his voice. We're going to actually do this thing together. And of course, we're going to get it right. So let's see if he's here now. Let's see whether please, can you hear us now, please? The audio still, and also we have Prince Ezem also in the house. Let's see. Let's see if we can hear the two. Please, Prince, can we hear you now? Let's see if we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can. I can hear you loud and clear.
What about
Mr. Olayomi? Can you say something? Let's see. Oh, it's not coming out yet. The devil is a liar. We must get to this thing. Never. It can't. This thing cannot stop. It has to work. It has to work. It has to work. Anyways, it has to work. Nothing will stop it from.
The devil is indeed a liar.
The devil is a liar. In this alliance, they want to come and mess up with us. It's not possible.
There he
yes,
is.
I can hear him now.
You can hear me now.
Very well. The devil is a liar.
Glory to God Almighty.
I've removed the external mic, so.
Oh, okay. Good.
All right, so we just leave it at the
Yes. Please say hello to ODUDUWA people and to Biafra people. Please just say go on, please.
Yes. First and foremost, it's never like this, but as we live in the world of technology, we have to also bear it in mind that we can also experience such difficulties, especially at this very crucial time. I don't believe it's the devil's work. I believe it's just that it needs to be because we've lied so much on the devil, but I believe we've seen the devil on the 5th of November.
Amen.
Our alliance came together.
Yes.
We have a lot of conversation. While we are doing that, I will be also preparing my streaming out for the audience from our own side. But for now, I say, Ise to all our Biafra brothers and sisters. This is where we will understand that we are no longer in the 60s. And I will always say the first problem of Nigeria was the 1914 amalgamation. A very good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you so much. For that well delivered opening speech. And I know that Biafrans are saying Ise from every end and saying army to the prayers. Thank you so much all. Thank you ODUDUWA brothers and sisters. Thank you everyone from every corner. And with the program I've just begun, I'm going to be setting the pace. I'm going to be asking the questions. Now, the first segment of the program is nullity of Nigeria. We want to prove how Nigeria is a null and void system, especially when it comes to talking about nationhood and, of course, talking about statehood. Because if you want to actually validate anything that must first check out its foundational makeup. And once you see that it has it or it is illegal, then you know that anything that is put on it is also illegal. Which means that if you are going to talk about election is illegal as much as Nigeria is illegal. Now I'm going to set the pace, as we go on. And basically, so now nullity of Nigeria. Now I want to set the pace. Now we know that when you talk about a government, you are first going to talk about people. And when you are going to talk about a people, then you must talk about a guiding rule that will win the people. But basically, before you talk about the guiding rule, the people must first identify who they are, and that is why culture and tradition becomes the first, the first point of reference in talking about people. So, which means if we want to qualify ODUDUWA people and want to qualify Biafrans, we're going to qualify them based on the fact of traditions and culture. So today we can boldly say that ODUDUWA people exist and they are legal because they have a tradition and culture. Every rule, every constitution, and everything that we have that govern people is based on the culture and tradition of people, as Fela Anikulapo Kuti said. Now, so which means that a nation, according to definition, is a group of people with a common tie or common ties. Which means we are going to talk about religion, we're going to talk about language, talk about culture, and all of these. Disqualify the ODUDUWA people as a nation, and disqualify the Biafra people as a nation. Now, when it comes to statehood, now, state is a group of people living in a definite geographical territory, possessing a government. Now, that is where we come now. Government is only instituted based on a commandment of the law. So, which means that if there is a law or a culture that have built a constitution or a law for the people of ODUDUWA and for the people of Biafra, it simply means that the law and the people are the ones who instituted the government. So, but that means now that also that Nigeria does not exist because Nigeria does not have a culture, Nigeria does not have a background for the basis of a law and of that. Now that means we can now say that Nigeria is null and void. Biafra and ODUDUWA is right. So now I want to get the facts from us now, please. From the analysis I've made, and let me come with Mr. Olayomi first, because I want to get you know, he has actually been off all this while. So let's begin with you, sir. Now we are looking at it basically. ODUDUWA can identify their culture and identify their traditions, and through identifying their culture and tradition, we can now talk about their government because they have to have their government. That is talking about the alliance. Biafra also have identified their culture and their traditions, which gives them the legitimate rights to have a government. Nigeria does not have a culture and tradition. Hence, we can say it doesn't have a basis of having a government and tradition. So now, my question here is this. Please, Mr. Olayomi, hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Now, my question here is this now. On what basis do we talk about election in Nigeria? Because we want to prove that Nigeria cannot exist, hence the election is null and void. Because if it doesn't have a culture, then it cannot have a constitution, because the constitution must be based on a culture. And since it doesn't have a culture, then we cannot talk about them, but we can talk about ODUDUWA and we can talk about Biafra because they have a culture. And so we can legitimately say we can institute a government and then talk about governance in decisions. So please, how do we place the situation or an issue of election on a no nation status in Nigeria?
Well, thank you so much, my brother. And once again, thank you to all our viewers. And I hope you can still hear me very well.
Very well.
Yeah, because I've actually started my streaming from this end. So we have more people from our end also watching the live transmission.
Okay, please, before you go on, please let me not cut you.
Yeah.
Please, ODUDUWA people, Biafrans, please share this right now on your own social media platforms so that we can reach more people. Please share and like the channels. Just share and like, please. It's very, very important for you to share so that other people can come in. We can see more people are coming. So please, sir, go on. I'm sorry to cut you there. Go on.
Thank you so much. The question a lot of people have always asked is, why now? Why are we trying, to destabilize, this running smooth country, that is working, that is, have the potential, to change our life. Why now? I'm not sure whether you get such, messages, from your own platforms, especially, we do so. And the reason for that is nothing more than the fact that, people believe that, since we have a Yoruba man that is now running, for this election, we are now the increment of the devil, according to them, that wants to bring him down. And, that is not something that should happen at this particular time in the history of Nigeria. It seems that there's a kind of an hidden agenda that we have prepared, so that, somebody like, Tinubu, will not become the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me first, take you through, these, document, and this document can be found, for anyone wishing to watch it or read it on KOIKIMEDIA, where you will find what we call the Yoruba document file. And the first question is, should we declare a Yoruba nation or ODUDUWA Republic or Biafra Republic, which almost is, aligned to you as well? Will that be illegal? Because that is the argument. A lot of people say that, if you do that, the country itself, the international community might not agree with us, the Western power might disagree with us. But let me take us through this, and I want us, when I do my program and when I join program like this, I want people to take pen and paper. I mean, I have a lot of them. I have the pencil, I have different pen, because that is the only way you can take information back to those, we might not use the word gullible, but those that are running the pushing of what the colony have done to us for a very long time. What they've done is what we are trying to rectify, and it has to be done as quickly as possible so that the next generation do not go through what we have gone through. You know, for some of us in our 40s, I'm actually 40 plus. This is what it says. And I actually was presenting this to some of our Yoruba colleagues late last night at about almost 12 midnight. While declaring a Biafra or Yoruba nation will not be illegal, one of the reasons by the voice of us crying for declaration of a sovereign Yoruba nation and Biafra nation as soon as possible is the fear by many Yoruba and Biafra men and women is that such declaration will be against the law. Number one, we don't have any law that hold us in what we call the geographical location known as Nigeria. And I'm just going to bring this background for the benefit of those that are watching us, where it has this beautiful, from what they've carved, known as Nigeria today. This is not true. A little research that can be done by anyone will confirm this fear unfounded, and that the law as it stands today is on the side of the Yoruba nation and the Biafra nation. As of today, there is no agreed legally valid document that joins the different territories within the geographical area designated as Nigeria together as one country. There is no nation or people called Nigerians. Any person who is born or their father or father is born within the geographical area of Nigeria as an independent on the 1st of October 1960 is the criteria to be a citizen of Nigeria. I'll take you back. I did ask the question before, I'm asking it now. Take 3 generations of yours and ask, what were they called before the amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914? The first document that many believe joined us together as one country is the 1914 amalgamation that joined the Northern Protectorate and the Southern Protectorate and the colony of Lagos together to create a Nigeria colony of the British Empire. So all these young Yorubas or our, elderly that are all running out and skelter, for the PDP, the Labour Party, and APC, what they are actually trying to do is to keep us in what the Nigerian colony of the British Empire that we are trying to come out. This was subsequent to an order of the British Crown and passed as such by the British Parliament. Almost everything that is running in what we call Nigeria today is running from what we call the United Kingdom. And we cannot continue in denial, as if that does not exist anymore. The amalgamation appears to have been done directly by the order of the Crown. The following extract is taken from the Colonial Report number 828, Nigeria Annual Report for 1914, and this report is written by Frederick Lugard on the State on page 35. Amalgamation, which we all talked about. On January 1st, I don't have to go into all that, but let's go a little bit further. However, on July 1960, the British Parliament passed a law, the Nigerian Independent Act, a law that is still active this day. It was last amended in 2009 due to new development and available for anyone to see that made all colonial British laws and crown orders in the territorial of the geographical area called Nigeria to be void from the 1st of October 1960. Void in law imply it is like it never happened. The second document is the Agreed Independent Constitution. There was something we all agree in 1960, and that has even been void, which was signed by the elected representative of the 3 regions that constitute independent Nigeria Federation, including the Yoruba of the defunct Western region and the Eastern region, with their own constitution, no mention of the Northern and the Southern region. When the constitution of the Western region was illegally suspended in 1962, and finally the constitution was annulled by Angui Rosie, who on the May 24, 1966, enacted the Decree 34 of 1966, by which ceased to be a federation. So we have actually ceased to be a federation as far as we are concerned. And the 1960 Constitution, the 63 Republic Constitution Agreement has already become void. The question now is, does the 1999 Constitution that has been a military decree used from the former president Olusegun Obasanjo that never saw the constitution? All he did was he became a president without a valid constitution. The present Constitution Decree 24 of 1999, obviously not signed, may validly elect representative of the territory from the the eastern region, or what is called the Biafra region, or the northern or the middle belt, that within the geographical area designated as Nigeria, so legally null and void. If the present government, I'm talking about the Federal Republic of Nigeria today, should seek to enforce this document in any international court, be it ECOWAS or ICC, it will be unsuccessful. Soldiers who carry out so many coups and beneficiaries of coups are treasonable felony. And should we, the Yoruba, declare out of Nigeria this year, any Nigerian military becomes a treasonable felony in our territory, and we are telling them that already in advance. They may think they are soldiers of fortune, but in reality, they are bandits, and history will still judge them as they such in due course. Those of them still alive should take heed. Any nation or country that wants to endure and stand the test of time must, as a basic minimum, have a certain agreed foundational agreement definition that join its citizens together and make them one. We are never one. An agreed constitution validated by majority of a citizen in a referendum, a shared recognition of history and ancestry of a citizen, just like you said at the beginning of this presentation, a shared belief in the laws, moral, edicts, and conduct that govern the society, a shared aspiration for the future that majority of the citizens believe in and want to work towards. Nigeria does not have any of these foundational agreements. Nigerian citizens are only joined by the misfortune of themselves, their fathers or their fathers' fathers being born. Like I said, my great-grandfather was not happy when they were joining them together as a Nigerian. He was forced by the bullet of the British colony. My father was born, by my great-grandfather, and my father gave back to me, and all we were told was, we are Nigerians. So in essence, there is presently no legally valid document that the Yoruba people or the Biafra people agree to make us part of Nigeria. The sky will not fall down on humanity when the Yoruba nation, the Biafra nation is declared. We will be ECOWAS brothers and sisters. We will have better agreement. We will have freedom of movement and goods and people. I will not have to be scared because I am traveling from a Yoruba territory to Benin Republic, where a Fulani man controls that and doesn't allow me to pass through, even with the valid fake document called the Nigerian passport. Whereas in the northern part of Nigeria, there's influx of jihadis coming in, creating genocide, killing us in the Biafra land, in the Middle Belt, in the north, and coming down and kidnapping our people. Up to day before yesterday, more people were kidnapped on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And just to finish it up, when the Yoruba nation is declared, any Nigerian army forces present on the Yoruba land will automatically be an army of occupation and will eventually have to leave. They should be ignored and not obeyed. And whilst we continue to build our own governance structure, if we are attacked, we have a fundamental right of self-defense, which will be internationally recognized. And I want people to go and look at the document that I'm just going to bring up again, which is what we call the Resolution 1514. This resolution was not by me. It was in 1960, December 14. Resolution, United Nations, just Google that, Resolution 1514. It says clearly in there, all people have the right to self-determination. By the virtue of that right, they are freely determine their political status, freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. The ones that a lot of people are worried is, should we start all these? Will the government react? Normally, we're dealing with monster. I expect the government that will react. But let me say what United Nations says in 1960. And this is exactly on number 4. All these documents, you can check it out on KOIKIMEDIA.com on the Yoruba document file. It says, all armed action, repressive measures of all kinds directed against the Biafra and the ODUDUWA people shall cease in order to enable them to exercise their peaceful and freely their right to complete independence, and the integrity of their territory shall be respected. We know the monster will not respect that. but we are prepared to defend our territory. I'll come back again to you.
Thank you so much for that in-depth analysis. In fact, please, let me not just break it there. Please, Prince, take it up from there.
I want to thank our brother once again, Olayomi, for being here and for that eloquent display of truth, because we are dealing with truth. I want to further stress that 1914 amalgamation was not only fraudulent, it was racist, it was evil. It was the height of criminality and the height of demonic influence on human beings. And we cannot mince words with these things. And I want to further now highlight why that contraption was fraudulent and unreal. I don't know how many people have gained access to Azikiwe's first presidential address. And based on that address, I can conclude that all those, including Azikiwe, that said that they had academic degree are only but academic fools. Because you couldn't tell me that you have just declared yourself independent, yet you are swearing allegiance to the Queen of England, because that was part of his delivery as part of his presidential address. Go and check it out. Google it, find it out. You find that he was still holding on to Britain, and Britain had imposed these people on us and wanted to govern by proxy. And that is what we are still on till today. And people still tell us, our country is only this is the only country we have, our nation, our nation. And I'm thinking, this is why these people believe we are animals. Because they believe that whatever they design for you, you carry on. Let me remind everybody about the autonomy given to each man. It is your autonomy that made you in such a way that nobody can name your child without your permission. Name in itself. Nobody can name your child without your permission. Nobody should name what you call your country. So nobody should name it unless they have what we call biological lineage, okay? Ancestral and cultural heritage. Because this is divine things of God. Can anybody from ODUDUWA nation go and begin to name a place in Britain? It is always a sign of evil when outsiders come and name and define you. Nobody has such right. It's evil. And for you to accept it, you become evil yourself. So I want people to begin to understand the level of fraudulence in this contraption. Now, I want to take you stage by stage so you know that even from 1914 to 2014, you were living in a fake contraption. It wasn't real. All of you were faked. All of you were sold to lies, and you bought into lies. So it wasn't only the presidential address. It wasn't only the presidential address that told you. It wasn't only the presidential address that told you that you are still subject to the Queen of England. I now want to come closer so you can see. And I want to use what happened in 2019 as a clear evidence that you never had a country, you are not a country, and you will never be a country. What happened in 2019 spelled it out. For the first time in the history of the world, you had all the European, all those that own Nigeria descend to Nigeria. You had Emmanuel Macron of France. come to Nigeria. You had Angela Merkel of Germany come to Nigeria. You had those who have changed you for life. You had Prince Charles come to Nigeria. 2019, before that, your Mickey Mouse elections. You also had Theresa May, who was then the Prime Minister of Britain. She came there. You had Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook come. You also had Bill Gates, who wants you wiped out of the surface of the earth by pretending he's looking after your children and your family. They all came, all of them. And everybody was clapping. And I was somewhere looking at this. I was thinking, how insane. Because let me tell you something, even animals recognize danger more than you lot. Animals recognize danger. Animals know when the threats have come. In fact, a hen with its chick does not need to see the hawk physically. A hen only sees the shadow of the hawk, and it will tell its chick that danger is here. How long have Europeans showed you that they view you as under animal? They prefer animals to be alive than you. How long have they told you that as far as they are concerned, you mean nothing? What is important to them is what is under your soil. And perhaps the only person that will mean something to them is somebody they can pluck out of you and send abroad to use for a particular thing they couldn't find the label. How long have they shown you what they think of you? Yet, when they are coming in drove, even when they come singularly, you couldn't see the danger. You couldn't say, what are they up to now? Because an animal would have recognized that something is going on here. You saw Macron, you saw Angela Merkel, you saw Prince Charles, you saw Theresa May, you saw Bill Gates, you saw Mark Zuckerberg, and you were all dancing like sheep being fed only to be killed by Christmas. Like animal. That's why they view you the way they view you, because God have mercy. Now, let me also tell you, because it was during those visitations they laid the foundations for what you're seeing now. You see all these things you're seeing? Because they're going to use religion to reduce your population and kill you. They're going to use terrorists to do it. When you hear Britain tell you that all they are interested in is to ensure the Nigerian territorial integrity, you have heard from our brother Olayomi here telling you that there is no integrity. But Britain has it as a policy that they are coming to assist your terrorist government to pursue terrorism. That's what they're telling you, because anybody that supports a terrorist is a terrorist. Anybody that supports a thief is a thief. Anybody that shares in what the looted thief have looted is a thief. So, and then also you hear American, what's his name, Mr. Blinken, telling you about how they are going to support and make sure that they will remember, they will tell you that they are too busy to look at your problems, but not when it comes to election. They become interested because they want to make sure they have criminals there to help them in their agenda of criminality. These are very plain stuff that any sense, in fact, you don't need to go to school to understand it. But let me say this so you get the plain facts and get it home today, because we're only interested in the truth, and we must secure the freedom now, not tomorrow. There is no game being played here. Now, following that 2019 visitations, where they laid the foundation for what you are seeing now, you saw that I don't know how many of you have been following the activities of somebody like this one that was just taken out, Boris Johnson. Okay, I don't know how many of you that were following his activities and what his thoughts are for Africa, Nigeria, and how he said it clearly that the issue wasn't even colonization. The issue was, why on earth did we leave Africa? So we shouldn't be discussing colonial things. Let us talk about why we left in the first place. Because the whole agenda for him fighting for Brexit was to have the sole power to come and take over Africa again. That was why he made sure that Katrina Lang is in Nigeria operating like a mad cow with no brains, operating like a combination of internal affairs secretary for Nigeria as well as the external affairs secretary. When you listen to Katrina Lang and her level of madness and arrogance and stupidity, because these are all, we don't play with words here, we give it as it is. Because whenever you try to cover the truth, you become a liar. When you try to moderate the truth, you become a liar. So we don't lie. We don't have any association with lies. Katrina Lang even had the cheek to come on television to tell Nigerians what the looted money they are recovering from outside will be used for. She was giving details of what this money will be used for. Which high commissioner has such madness to do anywhere in the world? Have you ever gone anywhere in the world and seen a high commissioner giving you lectures about how they are going to utilize the money? That is, who does that? She did not only say that, she came on air to tell you about their policies, how that policy of coming to Nigeria to take those that are intelligent, to pluck them, and then take them to Britain, and where their talents will be better used. Now, let me tell you the things you need to understand about all these mad policies. I've said it on this platform before. I've said it on Koiki's platform. You see, every human being represents a seed, and it's important you understand it. And every seed has particular soil where its potentials can be fully realized. And it is only when those potentials have been realized that you can actually move those seeds to anywhere to serve people. If you pluck a seed from its natural environment where it is supposed to be grown in that particular soil, and you take that seed to another soil, you restrict the potency of that seed. So let me show you what is happening to all of these your professors that are working abroad, that are plucked from Nigeria, because Nigeria is their plucking ground, because they ensured that they ruined the soil in Nigeria so that no child as a seed can actually maximize their potential there. So they poisoned that soil. So what they do is to pluck you out from there, move you abroad. Let me show you what is happening, because we like to break these things down so you can understand. Once you are plucked from that place into Europe, into America, automatically your potency, your potential, if it is 100%, it will drop to 60, the maximum. It must drop to 60 because you have been brought into a system that is already operational, and your job description and your potentials have been properly narrowed down and ring-fenced. There is only a level you can go. There are so many aspects of you that you couldn't even introduce because the system is already programmed and it's not going to tolerate anything that is not running in accordance with what their vision is. Are you following me? So your professors that are abroad, your doctors that are abroad, Your computer gurus abroad, their functionality, their abilities, their potentials have been limited. I mean, the other day during our mind surgery program, I told you that somebody like Philip Emeagwali, who actually brought about so many things you see in computer today, I can assure you a lot of his work was stolen by Bill Gates. I would like Bill Gates to sue me so that Philip Emeagwali can come and prove that in court, because I know that. Okay, so you find that in spite of his potency, everything was now narrowed down and shrinked. That's what happens. But the worst aspect of what Katrina Lang was saying was that we are going to ruin this part of the world. Nothing good will ever happen here. People here will continue to die and suffer because we will never allow the soil to become fertile again. Rather, whatever we see as a good seed here, we will pluck it very quickly and move it abroad. Now, you have to ask Katrina Long, who made you God? Who gave you this power? How on earth, you, this little child, idiot actually, because you are acting beyond idiocy, you that is just a byproduct of two strangers' sexual intercourse yesterday. No, has this woman ever taken a picture of when she's a baby and asked herself, oh, was I really a baby? Was anything different between me and the next child, the next baby being born anywhere in Africa? Who gave this woman this level of psychosis that she's parading? Don't forget, these are the people holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. You can't forget that. And as far as I'm concerned, I want them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because this is a season of freedom. And the owner of this world we are all renting is here. No tenant that is abusing fellow tenant will go free. No tenant that is stealing, that is demanding rent from fellow tenants, you're going to account to the landlord. This is the season. The fact that your ancestors did it and succeeded doesn't mean that you will, because this is the season. The landlord is here. We are not speaking in vain. I'm not here with Koiki in vain. I'm not here with Kelechi in vain. The truth has been unleashed. That means the light that comes from the truth is going to dismantle all darkness. In fact, you have nowhere to hide. You better release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and begin to ask for forgiveness. That's what will spare you. Otherwise, when you be in the way of this moving train, I can only pity you because you're just standing as another deluded pharaoh. You are going to be consumed. And what will consume you, I can't even tell you. I'm not threatening you, but I'm giving you the facts. This is the season of the will of God on earth because the truth is being unleashed. We haven't come to this alliance because we so much desired it. We haven't come to this alliance because it is just fiction. God has destined this alliance. Our past is our past. This is our future, and we recognize it. I thank God for Olayomi Koiki, who has broken it down step by step, telling you that the foundation of Nigeria is false in the first place. The foundation is false. There is no legal framework that is stopping you from declaring your independence right now. Nothing at all. The only thing stopping you is because they have put all their silly agents. Some of them are wearing long robes, and because they are fed by these scams, they are afraid of what tomorrow holds. They are scared of change. They are so happy with the devil they are eating with. So they are scared of the angel which wants to save them. They are scared of what this angel will bring. All these people you see, and that's why today we're going to give you solid advice that will make you realize what you need to do. because those that are holding you back, we know what is propelling them. We're going to reveal all that today. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. And you're all welcome.
Oh my, this is great. Please, Mr. Olayomi, I want to ask, because fundamentally you laid a very, very strong platform on which Prince actually just analyzed so much that our people are just reacting, and the reactions we're seeing is that our people are really receiving this message strongly. But now we see a situation where illegality actually has the boldness to try to suppress legality. And majority of the people who are supposed to be right are the ones afraid to speak now because illegality has a platform. And what we have come to do is that we want to establish the fact that the illegality is actually not supposed to be in the space. And hence we're restricting them to where they belong. And we're going to tell them that our alliance becomes very legitimate because we have actually come to discover that this illegality should actually leave the space. Now, from the analysis you gave and from the details you read out to us, Mr. Olayomi, you actually pointed out the basis of which Nigeria is nullified, and Nigeria cannot stand the test of law or where anywhere in the world. Now we have a situation here now where we have so many people from every nation in the contraption Nigeria who represent, they call themselves technocrats, they call themselves so many kind of names, and they are the ones holding the people's sway on this illegality. And now, of course, we have come to understand also basically that when you look at a people, no government can be instituted unless it is legally founded. And in the case of Nigeria, there's no law basis for any government, which means that every government we have, or the governments we have, or whether in the states or in the federal point, they are all illegal. Now, based on that fact, now they are now legitimizing, and we're now saying that our alliance is superior to the Nigeria contraption. Now, what do you have to say now, one, to the so-called professionals who have actually, whether ignorantly or intentionally or deliberately, based on their greed and all of that, refused to accept legality and holding on to legality? And what do you have to say to the ignorant followers who are actually hoodwinked by these people so that they keep becoming into foolishness? Please, I want you to address these two kinds of people in 5 minutes. Then Prince will address this kind of people also in 5 minutes. Then we'll go to the next session of this so that we can begin to put everything in perspective for Nigerians, those people who call themselves Nigerians.
Thank you so much again for giving me the privilege to speak. And like I said, for those that are concerned, our concern should not be our alliance. There are a lot of Yorubas that are skeptical about this alliance. We've seen it in their reaction. We've seen it in their, after the 5th of November. And I can understand. But let me give you two documents. And again, this document can be found on my website. And this is a reply that we should be more concerned about when it comes to what actually is the view of what we call the British, government on our quest. What we are doing is we are not starting a new nation. We are reclaiming back what belongs to us. That territory doesn't belong to anybody. The territory that we are talking about behind me was actually taken away from us by force. So being diplomatic is just that we want to be. And the reason why we've seen, these professionals, and they are not professionals, what they've done is they've used the backing of some of these wordings that is going to come out from what two letters that came from the British Foreign and Commonwealth Office in London. Like I said, if you want a copy of these, you can go on my website, you will find a copy. The first one we received on the 31st. The first one we received on the 15th of August 2022. And I'm going to read it. It's not quite long, and I'll make sure I stick to my 5 minutes. Thank you for your time.
take much time to explain. Just take much time.
Thank you for your letter of the 6th of July to the Prime Minister about the recognition of the Yoruba nation. I am responding as a member of the Nigerian unit in foreign and Commonwealth development. So already they have what they call the Nigerian unit in the foreign and Commonwealth development. So these are the professionals that have sat down behind the desk, giving the instruction back to those professionals back home and the ones especially in UK where I have lived in the last 2 decades, giving us the impression that whatever they say, we must listen to it. And we can now see that the followers are so ignorant in the hope that, they can chase away APC and then chase away PDP and bring the same person like Peter Obi in their mind without understanding that even if Peter Obi comes in, on what constitution is he going to run Nigeria? And how is he going to make me a Yoruba man to remain a Yoruba man, not a Nigerian? I don't know how Peter Obi wants to solve that, because already Tinubu cannot solve that. Atiku cannot solve that. I want to remain who I am as a Yoruba man. Does not mean I hate humanity. Does not mean I hate the Hausa man. Does not even mean I hate the Fulani man, but I want to know what kind of Fulani man is coming, because as far as I'm concerned, I live here in UK where my fingerprint has been taken. I want to make sure that whoever lives in our territory, we can know what kind of person that person is. Let's go back to that letter. The UK government shares, again, I hope you are taking note. The UK government is sharing our concern, not forgetting that they put us in this concern about incident of intercommunion violence in Nigeria. There's no intercommunion violence. There's what they call genocide by the Fulani terrorist government in the southeast, where they are burning houses, killing individuals, and then bringing in their jihadists. And let me say this, we are just waiting for them. Should they announce a coup before we announce our declaration, they just make it to be faster for us. If they think that they can use another Yoruba man like what we have got with our intelligence by trying to bring an interim government, you might be hearing that for the first time. Yes, we have intelligence that they are trying to pursue the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to take charge and become the interim government like they did when we called Fidie. Fidie means somebody that you just put his bottom somewhere during the Shonekon that he has now died and left the problem for us. Let's go back to the letter. The UK government shares your concern about incident of intercommunion violence. Their assessment is that the key drivers for these are competition over land and natural resources. Why did you join us first in the first place? That is why some of our ignorant followers do not know that we were talking about our natural resources, where the NNPC is saying that they have about 270 something link of crude oil coming out, as if it is my people in Idumota that sell pepper that went to connect the crude oil pipeline in the remote area, or people that are Biafra selling worobo in Ojo Elegba. So let's go back again. So we're talking about the land and the natural resources, historically grievances. So that means they agree that it's an historical grievances. Criminality. We are not people fighting because we hate religion. We have our traditional religion. They have it in the southeast, in the Biafra land. We have it in the ODUDUWA. They have it in the Middle Belt. They have it in the north. Religion has never been our problem, and it can never be our problem. And like I always say to the people on my platform, we are not fighting for religion. We are fighting a common enemy. The Fulani that wants to take our resources and our natural resources that is being used for their own pursuit. Again, let's go back to the letter. Religion can also be a factor. However, it is important to know that the perpetrator do not come from one ethnic or religious group. So they are actually saying that it could be a Yoruba man that is killing Yoruba man. It could be an Igbo man that is killing a Biafra person. It is a Middle Belt and Hausa person. They don't want to tell me that the only terrorist that is operating is the Fulani, the minority that have actually taken over the majority, everybody, controlling every part of the world, including those of the professionals that wants to renew their passport, where a Fulani man is the one in charge, but they've used a Yoruba man as a UK ambassador or high commissioner, but when you want to get the immigration part, it is controlled by the Fulanese. The UK government support local and national peace building. How do you want me to go and sit with terrorists and negotiate? Again, finally, you call for the UK government to recognize an independent Yoruba nation. The UK respect the territorial integrity of Nigeria. Again, there's nothing called territorial integrity of Nigeria. They are now encouraging myself and you to go and sit down, 371 different ethnic groups, to go and dialogue. The UK support and respect the Nigerian government commitment to work for a secure and prosperous Nigeria for all its citizens. That is the first letter we received. We received another one just after that. And this second one came again just at least around August 31st. The UK government again, this is now coming from the Minister for Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean. I am bringing this out because this is what they've done, where the professionals are now selling it to Nigerians. You know, you have people in the stock market, you know, selling this, gullible, experience to those within the Nigerian system. We have them in the banking sector. We have them in the port authority. But when you look at the whole sector, you now realize and ask the question, why are those at home not really keen to what we are saying? We see them going out campaigning, for all these three political criminals that are working on behalf of the Western power so that they can lock us in a bottle inside the contraction known as the shittest country in the world called Nigeria. The UK government shares your constituent. This is now coming from Vicky Ford, the Minister for Africa. Again, they are sharing our problem, our concern of security, where they have actually removed their own citizens out of Nigeria. And as of 2, 3, 4 days ago, they are still giving warnings, not for people to go to the Biafra area, the Middle Belt. But if we have our own territory, we can defend that territory. We can protect it just as you will not get into UK. Even if you are coming from the water side, there's always security ready to to capture you. But what we have right now in the country is where, again, finally, your constituent calls for the UK government to recognize an independent Yoruba nation. The UK government respects that territorial integrity of Nigeria. Again, you can see that it's the same pattern of information. And this is exactly what they've done by making sure that the repeated pattern information is what is pushed to Nigeria. And as we said today, Nigerians are told that have not got $1. Okay, this is $1, and I hope you can see it. So this dollar is actually, what you need 2 of these to be able to eat, according to the United Nations. But in what we call Nigeria today, they don't want our message to get to the bottom, because if we are given a 1-hour debate on all the network in Nigeria within the political system today, I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will understand that this dollar is about, you need 2 of these to be able to feed every day, but you don't even have half of these. Whereas an House of Assembly in Kogi State was found with $625 million US. And this is exactly why those followers would rather die for 500 naira. They will kill you for 1,000 naira in Nigeria. We've never seen in the Yoruba land where people were now ready to do things that we've never had before just to make living. You talked about the illegality. Illegality have always been part of Nigeria. When you look at the stolen wealth of Abacha that was taken out of the contraction known as Nigeria, we are talking about the tune of almost $4 billion US. This money was not kept in Nigeria. This money was actually kept outside Nigeria. But one thing is, those that have tried, when you go into, the social media world today, you see somebody like Festus Keyamo, defending a criminal. You see Dino Malai defending a criminal. And you see all these different politicians that a lot of Nigerians still think that they are there for them in 2023. We are saying to them, like I always say, I don't have issues with the followers of the PDP or the APC. What we are saying to them is, there's still time, to reflect, because whatever you are thinking that, people at home, the professionals, not every one of them, because some of them, are probably in boxed while some are speaking. And I remember, visiting one of our elders, back home, when I was at home for 6 months with Chief Sunday Igboho. And each time we go there, I asked him, why not just give me that 2 minutes to tell me exactly what you are saying now so I can tell the world? He's unable to do so. He's in his 90s. I don't know what he's scared of. And that shows that we cannot wait for those individuals that we call our elders, because they are not ready to allow us to go. People talk about restructuring Nigeria. And I say you cannot restructure Nigeria. It is too late to even try to restructure Nigeria. And if you think line, let us hear what Shetima have to say in this.
Concerning the journey from London to New York to 31 minutes. But unfortunately, the topical issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my foot. To hell with restructuring.
Okay, you heard him very well there. He says to hell with restructuring. So if any man or Biafra man thinks that, any one of them get in there, they will restructure Nigeria, you are going to be living in a denial. I'm going to come back again to you now, for the time being.
Thank you so much for that. Please, our Prince, let's hear from you, please.
First of all, you cannot be advocating for humanity without noticing what is fundamentally wrong with the entire system. And having recognized it, you would do your credential a disservice if you do not spell it out so that people would understand. That is the whole essence of being here. We don't play with words. Now, there are a few things I wanted people to capture. And I thank God Olayomi is here, because he would recall when we were both in England, we attended a lot of meetings at the House of Commons. What people don't know is that in the House of Commons, you are brainwashed to believe the place is for you. It's for you to feel free to come and be yourself and talk about whatever. But I'm quite sure Olayomi remember that in House of Commons, the rooms are all in committee number rooms. It's called, you are assigned committee room number 6. You are assigned committee room number 7. I think people need to understand what that committee room is all about. When they say committee room, it simply means that in House of Commons, there are specific committees that look into every discussion you have in that particular committee room. That is where they fish out what you're thinking, what your agendas are. They mark the things they are. Sometimes they try to pretend they can see the future. Nobody sees the future. It's just that you can understand where people are going through their antecedents. Now, I need the so-called Nigerians to ask themselves this simple question. And I'm happy we've heard from our brother Olayomi when he is referring to some of the setup of the British system. Okay? They have what they call Nigerian unity, whatever, in the government. They also have what they call Minister for Africa, blah, blah, blah. Can I ask those Nigerians whether they have anything called Minister for Europe or Minister for Britain? Do they have that? I'm sure they will say no. I also want to know whether they have something to do with British unity, British unity, whatever. The answer is no. Now, because until you understand how you are tied up, every knot has a way it is tied. If you don't understand how it is tied, you can never loosen it and you can never be free. You are tied up in a specific way that we want to make sure you understand so that you can untie the chain and be free. I want you to know that the problem these people have today is that We understand their psychology. We know where they are going. We know everything they are thinking, but they know nothing about us. I am telling you, and I'm not joking. A lot of those people you call British government and their agents and all those supporting them, they know nothing about us.
In your office, because I'm actually being interrupted. I'm in a live broadcast, and you know, so that please, thank you.
I can assure you, they know nothing about us, but we know everything about them, and that is where we are going to defeat them from, because we are here to save them. We've worked out that they are psychotic. We've worked out that they are sick. For you to get to a level where you begin to value animals more than fellow mortal beings, for you to get to a level where you begin to value the things God gifted us all here for sharing, and we are only sharing them for a temporary time because we vacate. For you to put all these things above human life, even for you to contradict yourself and you say you're British government, when I know that the British law will never support a man who is abusing his wife or support a woman who is violent. When British government law would want to separate you and divorce you, yet British system want to force people who are not meant to be together, people who are killing themselves, people who are exploiting themselves, and they are saying, no, you must live together. Your territorial integrity must be kept. You can just stay there because they are pursuing evil. If that is not psychosis, then I'm telling you, I keep repeating. As far as I'm concerned, psychiatry is a fraud, and it will remain a fraud until we cure the psychotic illness governing this madness. Now, let me bring some things home to you so that we will know how to go about these people. Please, I would love everybody to pay good attention. If you want to minute it, because that is only where to go, how to understand. Your understanding must resonate with what I'm going to say now. Otherwise, you're not ready for your freedom. You see, psychologically, there are people we believe in and we trust. It's just part of natural reaction, especially when you've been conditioned. There are people you naturally believe in and you trust. In fact, you assume that they are working for you, even though they are working against you. That is just life. Now, I want to remind you of who these people are. So from today, you would learn to disabuse your mind and then know who would save you. Now, you know, sometimes in Britain, you will hear that, oh, Nigerian British has become an MP in Newcastle. Oh, Nigerian MP has become, Nigerian-born MP have become the Minister for Works. Oh, Nigerian-born is now the mayor of... and in your mind, you believe these people are going to represent your interests. In your mind, you believe, let me tell you, these people are worse than the British establishment that is holding you in slavery. Okay? It is from them you have all this Minister for Africa Affairs, Minister of this and that. They are, look, when you are working for the devil, you even become more potent than the devil, because it is through you that the works and agenda of the devil will be accomplished. I need people to mark these words. Now, you need to also mark down all the people who are in priesthood. They tell you, I am the bishop of this place, I am the archbishop of this place, I am the priest of that place. Whenever they have not spoken out against the evil going on, when they have not come to line up with you, know that they are part of your enemies. Don't ever think that they are going to work for you or they are working for you. I need people to begin to take note of what I'm saying right now. Because we have often assumed that, oh, they are educated. Oh, yeah, they must know what we know. They must know that this freedom is important. No, I need you to view anybody who is paid by the system, anybody who is sponsored by the system, anybody, especially when they are silent about your pursuit for freedom. I want you to view them as part of your problem. In fact, I want you to know them as your real problem. They are your real problem. Let me tell you what propels their activity. Even if they know what you're saying is true, one of the dreaded, we see, because we are in tune with psychology, so we know how the human brain works. I can tell you that. What these people are mainly afraid of, which is a normal tendency, is change. They are afraid of change. They are happy with whatever they believe is sustaining their livelihood. They are happy with whatever they can guarantee as their offerings every week. They are scared that any change might not work out in their interest. Can you imagine somebody who is a venerable, for example, hoping to become a bishop in a few years' time? And they're working so hard, and they've got all their numbers calculated across Nigeria, how they are going to be voted and what is going to happen. And now you're talking to them about ODUDUWA nation. My dear, the people will start working behind against you, because as far as they're concerned, they are calculating how they are going to become bishop next year. And you're coming to bring something they don't know what will come of it. I need you to understand those that are actually being used to hold you back from your freedom. Because without this level of insight, you wouldn't know those that are stopping you. You might think they are your friends, they are not. That's why you must rise. It doesn't matter who you are, no matter how small you think you are. The job is yours to do, not the people you are thinking will do it, or people you think are serving your interest. They are on the side of the enemy. Not because they want to be, but because they are afraid of what change might bring. They are afraid. But also, I want to use this medium now to reassure them, because I don't think they understand what we are trying to obtain. I don't think they understand that what we are trying to obtain will even favor the Fulanese. I don't think they can see that what we are trying to get will favor even the British, will liberate British, will liberate Britain, will liberate Europe. You know, when I keep illustrating these things by showing you the 5 fingers, people think it's a joke. When I try to illustrate this by telling you what happens in the engine, people think it's a joke. But let us take the engine.
Can I stop you here, please? Because you are going to the next session, and actually, what you want to say now goes with the next session. And what I'm going to do is this: I want to play a particular video, because we want to now. What you want to tell us now is how this liberation will free everyone in the Nigeria contraption and extend it, which means that we're talking about the importance and the value of this alliance. Because the alliance itself is a representation of the will of the people. And the will of the people is what will definitely bring the results or bring about the solution to the people's problem, not the will of the politicians, not the designs of Britain. So I'm going to play a particular video. I've played it before, but I'm going to play it here since Olayomi is here, so that he can also look at it. Then we can use it. Now analyze how this particular alliance is in fact, the Fulanis should be happy with this alliance, because it will help them too. So they shouldn't see us as we are trying to destroy their own nation. We are trying to help them also, even if they see it as a destruction to themselves because of their criminality. Anyway, so I'm going to play this, and so that the people can also look at this, please.
So I crossed into the European border through the Hungarian side, the Hungarian border with Ukraine. So I had to get a ticket from Hungary straight to Berlin. And then I had a valid ticket. The charter, the UN charter says, hey, this countries respect human rights, so they will give us a right of passage, right? I get to Frankfurt, still on a train. And then the Bundespolice came in, they stopped our train. They were like, I don't know, 15, 20 of them with dogs. They stormed our train. They walked into my coach, said, do you have a ticket? I produced my ticket because I paid for my ticket. 100 and something, I still have the ticket in my bag, 100 and something euros. I said, okay, do you have a right to enter Germany? I said, yes, the law says refugees from Ukraine are allowed to enter. That's what the law says. I bring out my ID, my passport, and my permanent resident in Ukraine. I show them. He nods his head. He goes, he talks to his superior, and then he comes back. And he says, I have to get off the train. I'm like, for what? He says, because I wasn't born in Ukraine. I was livid. I'm like, what does that mean? I wasn't born in Ukraine. I've lived in Ukraine so long. Why would you say because I wasn't born off the train, I should get off of the train? I have a valid ticket. Why should I get off the train? I didn't stow away on the train. Why should I get off? They said, oh, we need to register you and then we can let you go. There was a German lady I met on the train. She was nice. We were having a conversation all through in English. She told me, oh, I better have to comply. That they said because I wasn't born, I have to do this. I said, they are not doing this for the Ukrainians. I also have the same rights as a Ukrainian was in Ukraine because I'm a permanent resident. So why are you doing this? They said, because we have to register you. So we got out, all the blacks, and this was just black people they were pulling off the train. So they took us to this holding facility. I remember the address. They took our passports. The address was in Nikola Tesla 1 in Frankfurt. It's a big warehouse. There they segment it. They have they segment the whole warehouse. So they had to keep us out in the cold for like, I don't know, hours because there were lots of us. They said we had to take COVID swabs. They took COVID swabs. They will take your passports, they will bag it, they will take all the money, they will count it, they will bag it, and then they will write on it. Yeah. This is from the Buddhist. This is one of the bags they used to bag our personal belongings. As you see, it's still the same way. The cash that was on me is still the same, unchanged, untouched. I can't even bring myself to tell because I'm still traumatized by it. My bag has a tag. This tag was from Frankfurt. They tag your bags, they tag every personal belongings you have with a yellow tag and a code. Mine was A155. And this is something they made us understand that, oh, it's just simple registration. I even asked some of the Bundespolice, oh, 1 hour maximum. We're there for 23 hours. Then the next thing I experienced was the most humiliating thing I've never experienced in my life. They took me to a room, asked me to strip naked. I had to go bare naked. They said, oh, I'm like, what's this for? They said, take off all your clothes. And then they made me squat and do a turn around, show them my ass and all that. It was so humiliating because in my life, even going through airport security, traveling, I've never experienced this. I'm like, don't you have body scanners for this? Even if you're suspecting somebody, they are drugs or they are drug moles, this is not the procedure. You don't tell people to go stark naked because you want to search them. When I got to Berlin, the girl told me, hey, that thing you did there is not registration. That's your whatever. I said, this tag I have it. I brought a paper. They said, no, that's for your personal records. I've never experienced such humiliation in my life. Each time I think about it, I want to cry. But as a man, my dad told me, don't cry. But it is humiliating. Somebody, a fellow man like me, would tell me to go naked. It is humiliating.
Before Prince Ezem takes it to their place, I want you, as you're watching from a channel you're watching, please like this video send it on all your social media platforms. Let people begin to join in right now. And also, if you have not subscribed to the channels you are watching from, please subscribe channels so that these messages can go far and wide. Please keep sharing. We want these messages because our people must come to terms with what is on ground. The alliance is meant to free you and other people that are part of this anywhere in the world. So please, and also if you have a question, you want to call in, the number is on the screen, +212 707 898 194, +212 707 898 194. One more time, +292 707 898 194. You can start calling as soon as Prince Ezem finishes, and then Mr. Olayomi also finishes his analysis on this video that I've just played and what they think and what they're going to tell us about the alliance, because we need to understand what the alliance represents and why the alliance have come to be and what the alliance will do for you and I right now and to posterity. Thank you so much, and please welcome back Prince. Please take it up from here.
I would love Katrina Lang. I would love the current British Prime Minister. I would love Bill Clinton. I would love Prince Williams. I would love King Charles. I would love Bill Gates. I would love all the people who on earth believe that mortal beings are animals to watch that video. Then I would extend it to, I would love all Africans. I want Fulanese to watch that, because that image represented each of us. That image, that man speaking, forget about his name. Forget about how he described himself. That was you. That was me. And if you can't relate to that, then you are not qualified to call yourself a human being. Anybody, whether you are influenced by drugs, which they have intoxicated you with, so you can go and rampage like an idiot, whether you are intoxicated by alcohol, or whether you are influenced by your mental state, whatever causes you not to relate to what this gentleman went through, trust me, that thing has taken you out of the human realm. I'm sorry, you're not part of humanity. I must be very honest with you. You might look it, you might pretend to be it, but you're not. You're being propelled as a being without any human component existing in you. You are worse than wild animals put together. If you cannot relate to this, I don't care whether you are white, green, yellow, whatever, you can't see this thing and put yourself in that shoe. Now, let me tell you something. That is what Biafra and ODUDUWA have come to correct. And we'd rather die than not correct this evil. You see what you've just noticed now? It's better than we all quit, yeah, and then come back to rectify, because the soul is a continuum. The soul does not stop. If you don't know, people think once you are dead, that's it. Go and study the seed and the soil. There is a reason why God gifted us seeds and soil. It is metaphoric. It's not just there to produce the food you eat or reproduce them. It's got spiritual connotation. So if I am here now and I can't change this evil with the much I have now, then I'd rather be buried so I can find another way to come and have the potency to change it. That's where we are. So it must come, because this is an eyesore. Let me tell you, that's why I'm telling you, we are here to save the Fulani. We are here to save the British. We are here to save those who call themselves white, because nobody is white. We're here to save those who believe that they are black, because nobody is black. We're here because we want to introduce the true soul of man. We want to introduce the true essence of why we are here on this earth. That's what we are here to do. And on this note, I really want to salute our father, the man I have come now to know and I respect. There are very few men like that around. And as far as I know, he's just the only old man I see that I can call a father, that I can call a noble man, that understand the transient nature of this life, and also understand that we, the older people, are here to plant trees, not because we want to reap the fruits, but we want those seeds coming from that tree to serve our children coming behind. Please, I want us to give it up for our father, for our true professor, because you are not a professor unless that professorship is linked to wisdom. Sorry, you're not a professor. Stop going around and say, I'm a doctor, I'm a professor. But you're reasoning like a fool. You can't even understand when you are sold. You know nothing apart from academic knowledge. So I want to recognize a true professor, littered with wisdom, littered with integrity, littered with truth, littered with honesty. I want to salute Professor Banji Akintoye. And I would just want to make sure I mentioned him in this broadcast. Professor Banji Akintoye. I can't wait to meet you personally. I can't wait to hold you as a father. You are a true father of all nations. And I respect you today, tomorrow, forever, because of your consistency in truth. Because of when you're, in fact, just, it was from Olayomi, my dear good brother, I was hearing the sacrifices of this man. And I'm asking those that say they are Igbo leaders and old Igbo people, I don't curse, but I ask God to meet you in his own way. It won't be for me. Who am I? When I heard about the sacrifices of this, our father, Professor Akintoye, who left Nigeria and went to Benin Republic and say he can't separate himself from the suffering of his son, Sunday Igboho, that is going to remain where his son is until his son is free. Oh God, that is what you call a father. A father of vision, a father of commitment, a father of integrity. That's the type of father I would love to have. And that's the type of father I want to be and I want to remain. And that is why today we stand firmly behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the true prophet of our time, the man who saw it and called it. And it took many a long time to catch up with it. We stand behind him in his suffering. We stand behind him. And we are now feeling pity for those that are holding him because they're going to be consumed. And I can see that. That's why I'm asking them to hands off now and begin to ask for forgiveness. Otherwise, you're going to be consumed. I don't think you know what consumption means. Nnamdi Kanu is coming to help so that you can never be, your children can never suffer the humiliation. This is our gentleman who just spoke and went through such an awful. Nnamdi Kanu wants to help make sure that none of your children will go through that again in life. But you are blinding yourself without knowing it. You're blinding yourself because suddenly you are acting worse than animals. You're valuing crude oil that had no meaning 400 years ago, more than the human beings that gave crude oil what it is. You're valuing money that God gave us everything about, the tree, the cotton, the linen, more than the human being who actually made money, who actually gave money name. What? Do you really understand that the resources you're fighting for is actually, they are limitless? You can't finish it. Queen of England grabbed and grabbed and grabbed and grabbed and grabbed and grabbed and killed and encouraged killing and encouraged genocide in Biafra. Go and ask the Queen of England now how much of what she grabbed is she keeping now? Are we too blind to see? Are we too deluded to understand? But let me tell you, whether you see or whether you understand, humanity is here to stay. Next year, we are almost there. Biafra nation, we will speak about. ODUDUWA nation, Yoruba nation, we will speak about. And these two nations will work in collaboration, and people will see and understand what being an alliance means, because it is an alliance of good, an alliance of light. Not these silly alliances you have, alliances of evil, alliances that are formed only to work out strategies on how to partition Africa and steal and dehumanize mortal beings and destroy the earth, the real lives. Not such silly alliances and silly secret societies that are ruining human ingenuity. For the first time in the history of our world, Yoruba nation and Biafra nation will form an alliance that would spring light, divine light, onto the world, and will begin to unleash and release in each child their true potentials. We will be asking ourselves, what stupid nonsense have we been doing all along? Why did we allow people to sell us so cheap and we bought into madness? Suddenly we are asking ourselves, is this how really human beings are meant to live? And we'll begin to give glory. Because if we can achieve this much based on lies, Yoruba and the Biafra nations are coming to build on truth, and we will reveal to you the potency of the truth and the beauty God concealed in humanity. Let me stop so far and give our brother a space to say and educate the minds. Thank you.
So much, so much, so much so. We appreciate you, sir, for that submission. And we are so grateful. And you have actually brought in the session that I actually wanted to speak more on. And you just spoke what is on my mind, which I'm going to still, before Mr. Olayomi will come in, I'm going to still state it here, that we really, really, really appreciate people who are true fathers. Professor Banji Akintoye is a true father, and he's both a father to the Biafran people and to the ODUDUWA people. And his presentation and his presence on that day of the alliance and speaking to us directly, not from anybody, not through anybody, but talking to us directly, was a sure stance of a father who looks away and who don't care about the danger, but faces the enemies on behalf of his children. And he stood there, he spoke on behalf of Biafra and ODUDUWA. And today all Biafrans will call him father. The same thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. He said, I have come not because of not just Biafrans, but I've come for both the ODUDUWA to free every nation in the contraption. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is also our father. So we have two father personalities, Professor Akintoye, Banji, who is an elder and a father, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is also an elder and a father to us. And of course, we have the two men who are pushing forth on their behalf, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is the spokesperson of Biafra and who is strongly carrying out this mandate. And through him, the alliance was sealed on the 5th of November. We appreciate him so much. And on this platform, we are saying thank you. Can't thank him enough. And also, of course, for the first time after coming out of prison, Chief Sunday Adeyemo, I don't know whether I pronounce it well, but
you got it right. You got it right.
Yes, yeah. He came all out and he was able to lay down the fact. He said, by the time 2023 is ending, we are getting into our nations. He was strong on it. He was firm on it, as much as everybody on the panel. I want to appreciate him too, and I look forward to having these our fathers and Professor Banji and Akintoye and Sunday Igboho to be live here on this platform one of these days to talk to us as fathers as they are, and also Mazi Simon Ekpa to speak to us as fathers as they are, because these men have proven that there are people who can stand for the truth, and standing for the truth does not matter if your life is at risk, does not matter what happens to you, does not matter as much as the truth is concerned. They represent, which means that the world will get better because we have such kind of people in our midst. Thank you so much, and Prince, for that great opportunity. In fact, you took us to the point where we begin to reminisce over these things, and we have come to understand that. Please, Mr. Olayomi, Koiki, we give you the stage right now. Just take your time and just talk to us. The benefits, as Prince have pointed out, the benefits of this alliance. The alliance have brought out, made us understand who the fathers are. And the alliance is going to also prove to us that the fathers are here to make sure the children gain the benefits of this alliance. Please, Mr. Olayomi, please go on with this.
Thank you so much once again, to all our Biafra, all here Biafra, all here the ODUDUWA, all here the Yoruba nation, freedom, lovers. I'm gonna take it from an angle. And the angle I want to take it from is, we're talking about the alliance, and that would then link back to the video that you showed. I had the opportunity, and I said to people, even if you are not a presenter, keep jotting something down, because your own family will remember you, because these are the documents. This one has already finished. I'm actually on these. I've done, I think, almost different, that I'm stockpiling for the future. Apart from, should in case, some of these social media take away our videos, we can always reference back to what we've said before. And what I'm about to reference to right now was an interview that I granted to one of our, elder here in UK, which was on the 20th of July, some few months back. When we talk about the alliance, I would rather don't want to travel to Ukraine, where that brother actually left after the whole, crisis. And as usual, human beings would like to look for safety. Let us remember that the reason why they are there is for one major reason. Ukraine has what we called the good medical, system. So we have a lot of Nigerians that are studying there on medical reasons. But do you know that I would rather want the Biafra to have this alliance with us today, so that we can go back to as it was, according to what I have here, that in 1860, the first medical school in Africa was in Abeokuta, in the southwest of what is known now as the geographical location of Nigeria. 1860. Should we have built on that? Would this young man have traveled thousands of miles just to study or become in his field in a medical line? 1860, the first medical school in Africa was in Abeokuta. And let us look at the distance. Even if he has to travel 1 month on the foot, he would have arrived in Abeokuta and become a surgeon, a medical. And I don't think we would have done exactly what he has experienced. This is the reason why when we talk about the alliance, we can go to study. I can become an apprentice in the Biafra land to learn something and then bring it back to the ODUDUWA land and then execute it. I can take our administrative, as we have been known from the Yoruba side, and bring that administrative, because right now I speak to people in India just on a customer service, when we could have those kind of relationship when we call to alliance. What people are not looking at is they are looking at the individual personality of Simon Ekpa rather than the future of what the alliance will become. And that is something I want those that are still a little bit upset. We know we are angry. This is far, Biafra is far beyond Simon Ekpa. The ODUDUWA is far beyond me. So when you are looking at us as those individuals, that why are these two working together? Why is Baba Kintoye going to work with the Biafra and not talking to our people as well? It is far beyond us. I would not want a Biafra to have to travel out. Not everybody had the privilege, like someone like me, to have traveled on the aircraft to arrive in UK in 1998. Millions died along the route using the back end. But I would rather want us to embrace that those Igbo or Biafra in the Southwest are not a threat to us, because I've heard that they will come back for you and want to take those land. And I want us to take that out of our mind. Let me now break it down. Alliance. I would rather want the same alliance as those that have done so in the past and is still working for them today. The UK were part of the foundation member of the European Union. They actually pull out, but they still have alliance with the European Union. The only difference is, if I was meant to take a sandwich from UK right now and drive into the borderline of the European Union, there's probability you'll be asked to throw away that sandwich because they do not agree that that sandwich is up to the same standard as it used to be. So when we talk about alliance, what do we want to gain out of it? And how do we want to make that alliance to work? Part of it is what we are doing right now. I don't think in the last 2 years, even as much as I sit down in my own little room and I watch Simon Ekpa and others that are probably even doesn't know whether they are part of one particular group or the other. Each time I have gone out to campaign on behalf of the Biafra, asking for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at number 10 Downing Street, I never asked who was who. I didn't go there because of Simon Ekpa. I wasn't paid for those jobs. I was there with you when you go to the BBC that refused to broadcast us. But at least I was able to use my own little small network to bring the message out, because we are only going to help each other. So alliance is a very, very good thing, that is going to move us forward. And let's come back again. For those that are thinking that, what can we do? We can do things in our own way. That is how we want, when we look at, we can do things in our own way. When we have our own, sovereign nation back, it will not have any effect to those that are known as the Biafra living with us. You will just have to adapt new constitution. Does not mean that, I have my cousin that is married to a Biafra man and they have children. I have my auntie, they're living together here in UK, the other one is living back home. And I don't think, we have issues. People need to understand that our own system of government does not mean that it's going to be hostile to the people. But we would definitely want to make sure that, those that have come in as a terrorist. Those, just as any other countries that we've lived, where I have lived conveniently without knowing whether my neighbor, believes in my religion or not, but he knows that when I receive a parcel and I'm not at home, he pick that parcel and keep it until I come back without opening it. When we talk about alliance, I want us to have this open mind, but when we start thinking that there is something that might, become, an issue, you also have to check your individual selves. Let's look at countries that are smaller in numbers. When you look at Kosovo actually seceded away from Serbia, and the war did not end. As of today, not all countries among the United Nations members recognize Kosovo, but they are running their country. They have their own currency. They have their own economy. They might not be as good, but at least their passport stand at number 86 in the passport index ranking today. When we look at Serbia itself, 6.9 million. I would rather also want to have an alliance with the Biafra, where we have a good corridor way and we can work together. Serbia is 6.9 million. Their passport index today is number 35. When you look at Montenegro, they are not even up to one local government in the Biafra land, nor in the Yoruba land. It's under 21,000. Their passport index is number 47 in the world. Let's talk about East Timor. East Timor is 1.3 million. How many Nigerians know that you calling yourself a Commonwealth, you will not be able to travel out of Nigeria without applying for a visa? That visa does not guarantee. You might probably get a student visa because you've been able to manipulate it. But when you arrive in UK, you will pay the consequence for that, because you will understand that, the heaven is not going to be here, that you think so. But those that are East Timorians, how many people know that you can travel with an East Timorian passport to UK and you can live here conveniently for 188 days? But the Britain does not grant us access to arrive here. It was so in the 80s until it was put out. So when those that are clamoring, the followers of these different political parties, some of them will probably still inbox you and say, I just want to japa. But don't let us japa. Let us build a new nation. It has been done before. East Timor was the first country in the 2000 millennium. In 2002, 20th of May, had their independence. They didn't get it for free. They declared in 1975. 2 weeks after, Indonesian government came heavy on them. But one thing is, they knew what is freedom, and they fought up to 2002 to get what belongs to them when they eventually became an independent country. Palua, while we were talking about 1993, thinking that MK Abiola would become the president, we did not know that the Fulani had a different agenda. But in 1994, American gave Palua 18,000 population. They are independent. Their passport today ranks at number 49. Eritrea became an independent through referendum in 1993. But as a country known as Slovakia, they had what they call the velvet divorce, non-violent separation. We can have the same separation where we would then have to sit around the table and look at the debt that Nigeria is currently. I don't think some of us understand the debt. As it stands today, 62 trillion naira is the debt of Nigeria. It will take 40 years. That means I'll probably be about 83 years old before we can finish paying that debt. And nobody knows whether there will be more debt. And probably maybe by the time we are 40 years from now, we will have no land. We probably won't have a language. So when we now talk about those that are thinking that, the alliance is not good for us, let us reflect on it. Let us look in the bigger picture. Countries have already been dissolved. We will not be the first country in the world to dissolve. So, Soviet Union, 30 years ago, thereabout, 1991, December 26, dissolved into 15 republics. And that is where Estonia has become a country where internet is a human right. As of today, we are talking about the poverty capital of the world, where our people have the land, but we cannot go into the farm. Our people cannot even have 3 square meals. Yet, Estonia would not have been as powerful as it is today. Some of you use Skype. Do you know that that is coming from Estonia? You can become as powerful in Estonia because of the internet technology that they have. So let's look at the bigger picture. And in that situation, some of our brothers that are traveling and myself, because everybody was looking for something. I have said it on my platform so many times, and I'm repeating that here for the first time. I left Nigeria in 1998. The British took 14 years before even giving me what they called status to live in their country. So the question then is, do you want to go through the same route? It's fine. But we can now say enough is enough and unplug that hot machine that have put everyone in. It will be painful. It will be tough. There'll be all kinds of different allegations from different platforms. We should remain focused. I have said so for the last 3 years. We have issues among us as well, but we are not looking back. These alliances have come to stay. Nothing is going to stop it. If those from the Yoruba are not happy with it, we will only tell them to embrace it. If some of the Biafras are not happy with it, we will tell you to embrace it. I read some of your comments. A lot of you have sent messages. Like I always say, our common enemy, Fulani terrorist government that is being kept in there by the Western power, deceiving us using different robes and church and mosque and all kind of different individuals and giving us peanuts. Do you know that in 1930, the Yoruba actually borrowed the British government 8.5 million pounds sterling. In 1970, we gave them another 12 million pounds. America got 1.8 million. We were even servicing the debt of the Imperial War. Let us remember that should we not go right now, we will all be danger to the species of these Fulanis. Fulani have not even used the benefit from the Yoruba land and the Biafra land to develop Nigeria. And that is why I'm saying, we need to now, out of this contraction known as Nigeria. Nigeria is not working. It will never work. It is not going to have any benefit for anybody. Our only option right now is let us dissolve. Let us come out of Nigeria and we will become a better nation that the world itself is waiting for. Sorry for those that have been, on my YouTube. I think I muted myself, but I'm sure, all I've said in just 2 minutes or 1 minute is we've given a breakdown that some of you have had before. I believe most of our Biafra that we're trying to get the message to. So once again, sorry for those that were watching us on my YouTube channel because the audio was muted for about a few minutes while I was speaking. I'll return back again to you, my brother. And I always say, it has come to stay. Let's just
Amen. Nítorí kò jẹ́ ní orúkọ Jésù. Ní orúkọ Jésù. I say amen. Ní orúkọ Jésù. Thank you so much for that, analysis and submission. In fact, we have heard it so great here. The messages and everything. We have come to understand that it is better, far better to have our nation, because you cannot talk about. In fact, the platform Nigeria itself is not organized even like a country or a nation. It's organized like a business. So you understand, because it has the nature of a business. So there's no way you can about election on a business. When you talk about businesses, you employ people to do the work for you. Anyway, we've been having calls. Anyways, I know people want to ask you questions or they want to say something. So I'm going to pick one of these calls that is coming in. We have somebody calling in now. Let me pick the call. Let's begin to have people make their calls, and then let's see if there are questions or their contributions or their appreciation and all of that. So let me pick the first call. Please, you're welcome to You're welcome, and thank you for joining us. Please, you can go straight straight to your point. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Mazi Kelechi. Good afternoon from Bolagatanga, the upper eastern part of Ghana. Good afternoon to his friends, Nanyendewo, and good afternoon to you, Mazi Koiki. I am so happy for this opportunity. Can you hear me?
Very well.
We can.
Loud and clear.
Thank you so much. And I'm, in as much as I am a Ghanaian, I have the Biafran blood running inside me, and I had the opportunity to serve in the zoo government, in the zoo army for 18 years. And I resigned there, a warrant officer, second class. I would like to go back to what late Pa Awolowo told Pa Akintoye in his own words. He said, and I heard him speak, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that Pa Awolowo, may his soul rest in peace, said that ODUDUWA and the Biafra will never be free until they come together. And the day the unification of ODUDUWA and Biafra was done, and I watched it, that was the day I felt that that prophecy has been fulfilled, was fulfilled. And then I would like to see, going forward, the joint, contribution of these two great nations. I would like to say, I don't want to see it broken down in the near future. And I pray that God will give you the strength, both the agitators in Biafra land and the ODUDUWA land, to move this alliance into a different height. Thank you, and may God bless you people.
Thank you for calling in, my brother Maxwell. Thank you so much, so much.
Please. Is it okay? Can I go forward now? I would just want to bless that gentleman. Is it okay, Kelechi? Can I go forward?
I think it's freezing on the side.
Is he frozen?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, whilst it's frozen, I think hopefully the audience can hear us, myself and yourself, Olayomi. Please, I want to bless that gentleman that just spoke. And it's dawned on my spirit to utter these few words to my Yoruba brothers and sisters, to my ODUDUWA nation brothers and sisters, just to make sure and re-echo this alliance and how important it is for us and for yourselves. I want to extend, hopefully Kelechi will be joining us again. I want to extend the same vision and the same offer I'm making to Biafra, to ODUDUWA. It's an offer, and the offer comes free of charge. I want to do some work for primarily, I'm going to start primarily with kindergarten and the primary schools. And I want to extend that to ODUDUWA. It's an offer. We want to bring about a new mindset for our children. A new mindset that begins to appreciate what we are in this world to do. A new mindset that will reveal the true nature of humanity, that will bring down the glory of God, the kingdom of God here on earth. A new mindset that will suddenly correct the ills of Europeans. That work I want to extend to Yoruba, our Yoruba brothers and sisters, so that our children coming up who would not have been contaminated with all these madness that we carry as adults, will become the springboard to a new nation and a new way of doing things. I want to use this hallowed platform to make that offer. And so shall it be in Jesus'
please,
name.
I don't know if I can get the offer. If I can repeat the offer, please. I went off. It went frozen. I didn't even hear anything.
I understand. Kelechi, my brother, yes. It's not an offer you are in the dark about. You know, the work I have offered for Biafran children from kindergarten to primary school. I will move that to secondary school to university, but I want to start primarily with the kindergarten and the primary. That work I'm offering to my ODUDUWA brothers and sisters when we get there.
All right. Let me take the next call, please. And please, caller, you can go on, please. Welcome to Biafra Global Network. Please, you can go on. Our guests, you're listening.
Hello.
Yes, please go on.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from the United Kingdom.
Okay.
I just want to come into the this discussion this afternoon.
All right. Please go on.
Before into the discussion, I want to greet my brother Olayomi Koiki. He probably recognized my voice. To greet the chief, man, very close to Olayomi. I want to greet Samuel Epa as well in this struggle. I just want to say something regarding the other man that was shown on the video that we watched earlier on.
Okay.
Well, just like the chief said, that was the picture. Our leader, their leader in Nigeria, not Nigeria. That was the picture they painted over the years, and that is how the international community. That is how the only regard that they have for us. But now, when we're now looking into this alliance, this is 21st century. I want you to know that this is spiritual and God is doing something.
Amen.
One of the things that God hates is slavery. That is the reason why even in the Bible, He said, "Let my people go," without any vision. Look at, for instance, because I'm going to use the Bible as a pastor to justify Biafra and the stand for liberty. They've had enough. And God is saying, "Let my people go." Not have any regard for humanity. The Fulani, they have no regard for humanity. Somebody get the assignment of what they are doing and they have failed already. So this particular struggle, this liberation that we have stepped our foot on, it is not a human invention. It is God Himself shows that He is tired of slavery in a particular part of the country called Nigeria. So that is the reason why when the alliance came a few days ago, I laughed. I'm telling you, this kind of alliance has happened in the Bible. When you read the Bible very well, you realize that 4 kings, they will come together to tackle a common enemy. So if anybody is attacking Samuel or Mazi that I'm watching at the moment, or my brother Olayomi Koiki, they are, I don't know adjective I can use to qualify them. They are nothing. Because when this wind will start, it will sweep them away. It is God Himself that is leading us.
Yes.
And God is not going to back up. He's not going to back up until we see the end of it. And I'm telling you, the end of it is not very fast. It's going to be something very, very quick.
Yes.
So, one thing I want want to ask Chief to do for us, because my wife is from the East already. So I'm used to new people. I love your culture. So I married from among you. And this kind of a unity is spiritual. Let's just carry on and do it together. So people might be reminding you about the past, whatever
That's their usual.
Between Yoruba
that's
and
their
Igbo.
usual way to discourage you.
It's just to take us back.
Yes.
It's 21st century. And I could see the spirit of the Igbo land and the spirit of ODUDUWA coming together to do something, to liberate, to give people freedom. People are dying. They are poor. And what do you think poor person can do? They can't fight for themselves. They don't have money. Yes, my brother, they can't. Poor people cannot fight unless God raised a situation to fight for them. And that is what we're doing.
Thank you
It
so
is
much.
God's time, not human time, not political time.
Yes.
God bless you so much.
Thank you so
I love
much.
this program,
So
and
much.
I love the chiefs that I'm watching,
Thank
and
you
the
so
alliance
much.
between our representative, Brother Olayomi Koiki, and I love the way Brother Olayomi Koiki understands the Igbo people.
Very well.
I've never told you that my wife is Igbo. I've never. But I'm telling you, that makes me to love Brother Olayomi Koiki the more, because I could see the love he has for our lost brother that has now
Many people would not even know that I know Olayomi Koiki more than I know Kelechi.
And
thank you, Chief.
The bond
really
is permanent. The bond has we have passed that stage where we talk about the past, what has happened in the past. That's gone. This is another generation. We have come to set a pace for something new. And that alliance is just the evidence of the spiritual mandate which has sealed this union and this bond.
It's even going to watch and see what is going to happen, because like you said, it is divine. It is divine.
Yes.
It is divine. Yes. So it's going to explode into something the world will say, wow, wow, wow.
Once it is divine, it is perfect. Because everything resident in the realm of divinity or the divine is perfect. Exactly. So there's nobody can fault this alliance because it is divine.
Exactly.
Yes.
Amen. Amen. So that is to let Chief and Brother Olayomi Koiki know that already. Amen.
Thank you so much.
We
appreciate it. Thank you so
much. Let me bring the next caller, please. Thank you.
All
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we have another call. Well, please call back. Please, Tony just saw your message now that I should bring you in. Yes, please. I'm sorry. We're actually listening to the caller to finish up. We're waiting for him to finish up, and he has finished up. So, we're going to hear next caller. Please, Ogodoman. I think that's okay. This is not Ogodoman. Please, go on, please. You're live now. You're live. Please go on, please. You're live. Please go on. Yes, my brother. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. You are live. Please, you can go on now.
Okay, thank you, my brother.
Yes, please go on. Go
Hello, am I through?
Yes, you are on. Live.
I can hear you.
Everyone is listening to you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Yes, greetings to the Honorable Prince and the Mazi Koiki.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate this gathering. That is so much.
Mute the one that you're watching from and keep to the phone on.
You can just
mute the other side so we can hear you properly. Mute your TV.
You know what? Device.
Hello,
you can,
am I through?
Yeah, please speak from your phone.
But mute the TV set or the other system and just stick to the phone.
Okay, am I clear now?
Much better now.
Yes, go on.
Okay, Okay, yes, like I said, let me just be a brief on my submission. I'm very, very pleased that this union has come to pass. Let me just add, it's not just about the union. We must make sure both parties, those at the helm of affairs, both groups must make sure that this alliance, this union, stands, because that is the listing that our enemies or the owners of Nigeria don't want.
Yes,
because they believe
my brother,
anytime,
my brother, you know one of the ways we're going to make it stand.
Have any
Can you hear me?
Union
you know one of the
any other part of that country, that will be the end of that contraction, and we do everything possible to make sure that it doesn't work. Do you know that Harold Wilson had to fly down to Port Harcourt at the heat of the Biafran War? He was toasting champagne at the Port Harcourt Liberty Stadium. He was in hostage. They are the midst of a genocide. A world leader have to fly down to Port Harcourt to host and be toasting champagne. That was the highest crime against humanity. Till today, it's never said anywhere. And that was when they made sure that the disunity among the Biafrans and their brothers, the Southerners or whatever they call themselves, that was when they solidified every arrangement about selling out the Igbos.
The alliance of evil.
Now, to the ODUDUWA, Obasanjo once told them that Nigeria or the Fulanis, they can never fight against the Biafrans and us join together. They can never. That is the last thing they can ever think of doing. And they know that the moment such a union comes to existence, that will be the end. All what they are doing today or yesterday is to make sure that such a union never stands. If you can see, NSAS was almost a success until they brought in a tribal sentiment into it. That was just to kill it. And that is what the politicians have been using, this tribal sentiment or mentality among the youth. Because the politician will go down to the east and tell you Yoruba is that, the Yoruba politician will go and tell you Igbos are that, Northerners will go and tell you Igbos are that. They are always united among themselves, but causing disunity among the youths. And we know that the moment the youth come together, they are finished. And they will never need to allow such things. So coming to this sustenance of this unity, please, my brother, Mazi Koiki, I'm begging you, please, this union must stand. Because Charles Newton once said that coming together is the beginning. Staying together is progress. Working together is success. The moment this unity is sustained, we are there. Let us just try and put certain personal sentiments or affiliations apart, away from it, no matter what happens. If we can just ignore whatever comments, accusation, remarks, or whatever that come from their side, let us just undermine it. No matter what anybody tries to tell us, it's just part of it. We bear it and move on. We know what we are fighting for.
Yes.
And let us just try and work out, make sure that this union stands.
Yes,
for
it will. It will. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much. You're quite right. Thank you so much.
Yes. In fact, one of the ways we're going to sustain the union is by always discussing, as we are here, because when we reason together, you know what God told us, in Isaiah chapter 1, verse 48, he said, "Come and let us reason together," says the Lord. Staying a kind of relationship like this, we'll continue to have such kind of platforms where we're going to be discussing with our ODUDUWA brothers and we improve on our relationship, talk about so many things we contribute and rub minds as we're now. And then, of course, behind, we're doing the work greatly. Thank you so much for calling. Let me take the next call.
That will do the magic.
Yes, it will, definitely. Talking together.
I'm greatly flabbergasted.
Yes. It will continue. This relationship will continue. And these
bless.
discussions will continue. Talking like this regularly. We're going to make sure that we do it regularly this time around, because we want to prove to the Fulanis that they cannot put us as they put us behind, dealt with us in the 60s. This time around, we know, we have the secret. We know how they did it. We know that Britain helped them manipulate the thing, and now we have come to solve it, and we know how to solve it very well. They have lost it out. They have lost out. So I bring in the next caller, please. Thank you so much for joining. Emogodama, please call in. It's just that people's calls always come in between your call. That's why I've not brought you in. So please just call in, Ogodaman, please, so that I can pick your call. As soon as this call is dropped now, or I pick this call and it's through, you can comment, please. Not rejecting your call, please, Ogodaman. I actually want you to speak, so please, you can call in again so that I can bring you in. Thank you so much, my brother. Yes, please, Ogodaman, you are here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Please go on. The floor is yours.
Greetings, Biafrans, and greetings, my brother from the ODUDUWA nation. And I said, what the devil cook for us, they are going to eat it by themselves.
He said,
that is number one.
I'm saying
I'm so happy to see this. And by the time I see gentlemen, people that make sense.
Yeah.
You know, they said birds of the same feather flocks together.
Yep.
And when you see men that reason, you want to join them because you reason very well. Let me go straight to the point. First of all, they have tried everything humanly possible to divide us in the past.
Very well.
They were succeeding. They succeeded in the past until God brought Oyendu to open up the eyes of not just the Biafrans, not just the Igbos, not just the Biafrans, not just the Nigeria enclave, but to be honest with you, the whole of Africa, eyes are open. But let me go straight to the most important things of today, which is Biafrans and ODUDUWA. They don't want us to exist. They don't want us to unite. They don't want us to know that we are same, because they fear that we are going to out-develop them. That's their fear. But that their fear has come to reality. Whether they like it or they don't like it, Biafra and ODUDUWA must come. So let me go straight to that point, which is the importance of restoring Biafra and ODUDUWA. The ODUDUWAs, I want you to listen. I have a lot of Yoruba friends here. When these things started up newly, they were fighting me. They were calling me Onye Biafra, Omo Biafra. And when they call me, I smile and laugh. I said, who are you? I'm a Nigerian. I said, no, you are not a Nigerian. Come on. You are a Yoruba man, and a Yoruba is an ODUDUWA. You have your own culture. You have your heritage. You have your own way of living. Don't allow anyone to deceive you, telling you that you are a legal area. I am very, very, very happy that these days, these messages have sunk down to average person that is living here in Toronto with me. I can tell you that categorically, 50, if not more than 50%, they have come to understand that the only way out is Yoruba nation. So that is one of the things we have been doing and we will continue to do, is to restore Biafra and to restore ODUDUWA. Now, the benefits is so much. The benefits too much. Just like the picture, the video you showed me, You know, the guy spoke and spoke. At a point, he began to cry. When he began to cry, I don't want to cry because I have developed a hard skin. I have developed khaki skin, so I don't cry no more. But he's crying because
means your tears are finished. Your tears are finished.
He is crying because he has not seen anything. My brother Koiki that is here, he said he went to UK in 1998. When he said that, I said, look at my mates. We have seen it all. So he's crying because he's just started. So the benefits of us to make sure that Biafra and ODUDUWA comes to reality is so many. Look at Singapore. Look at Malaysia. I have been to Malaysia. I have been to Singapore. In Singapore, if you spit on the floor, you'll be flogged 24 strokes of skin. In Malaysia, oh my goodness me. You see, when I see these two countries, I see Biafra and ODUDUWA. They know that competition, healthy competition brings progress. And that is exactly what they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that it doesn't come to reality. But they have failed. I mean, the British has failed. They can do anything, they can do all they can. They have failed, hopefully. By 2023, we are all going home, whether they like it or they do not like it. If they want us to go in peace, if they want everybody to go in peace, we go in peace. But if they want us to separate in pieces, so be it. But that alliance must be there. That alliance is already there. That alliance must be sustained. Healthy competition brings progress.
That's it.
And that is what the West is so much afraid of.
Yes. Thank you.
Imagine Biafra growing. ODUDUWA will not be sidelined. Imagine ODUDUWA growing. Cotonou will not remain where they are. Imagine Cotonou growing. Ghana will say, what? Imagine Ghana growing. The neighboring countries, that is what you saw happening in Asia. Malaysia growing, Singapore growing, China growing, every neighbor of them. I said, what are we doing? These people are growing. They grow by force because the healthy competition brings progress. And what are we going to achieve when we restore Biafra and when we maintain these benefits of so many things, a lot of things. When I look at job opportunities in ODUDUWA nation, I look at job opportunities in Biafra nation and ask myself, what is wrong with Nigerians? Let me not talk of Nigeria. What is wrong with the Southerners that are shouting, condition, blah, blah, blah? What is wrong with these people? Can they see the benefits that we are seeing? Can they see the development we are looking at? Can they think? I mean, can these people actually think? However, when I ask myself this question, I come to the realization that British took their time, used the Fulani so many ways to finish us with their cow meat, with their azo, with all this bullshit. They use it. We have eaten to a point that Southerners cannot use their own brain. They are dependent on yam coming from Ugwausa, onions coming from Ugwausa, tomato coming from Ugwausa, potato coming from Ugwausa. When we have fertile land,
let me help you, my brother. I hope you can hear me.
We can.
Yeah,
we want to
please, let
yeah,
Mr. Olayomi,
and you're quite right. And that's always the fear of my fellow ODUDUWA and Yoruba brothers and sisters, that should we leave Nigeria, what are we going to be eating? And the question I always ask myself is, what about the land that we have? What is the benefit of that land? and what is the advantage of using that land, to build, the food. During the Awolowo, there was plenty of food. So I think we need a lot of, educating our people. We've been able to do that on our own platforms, for the last 3 years. And now that we have been able to show people, the mechanized farming, that it is a deliberate act, in 2022 to be using cut and hold, and some of these old methods. And one thing we can assure everybody is, I've been able to show people, how production is done, around the world when it comes to farming. We would have, even if we have to buy anything, in the north after we dissolve the country, we will look into that, whether it is worth buying and what are we actually buying. Is it up to the standard? To bring beans into the UK is a big problem. To take it around Europe, they are refusing it, they are rejecting it because of the way it has been put together. So our people need to understand that, when it comes to the agriculture sector, it's going to be the best, just as, technology and other areas, just to help my brother there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ogodama. Thank you so much for your submission. In fact, just opened up another, another side of the discussion that would actually take us. We're going to have more time, of course, where you're going to still talk more on this, so that we can actually, because I know our guests have stayed long, as somebody is pointing out here. But of course, we need to also talk, because we are doing this. Is the sacrifice that they are giving for Biafra people, ODUDUWA people, because we know that we have to do much of talking for people to understand now, so that they don't begin to think the alliance was just a formality for Mazi Simon Ekpa and Professor Banji to just come and showcase themselves and tell the people that they are there. They are the ones. No, they came for real business, for the freedom of the people. The alliance is what is giving birth to what we're discussing now. And basically, the facts we're discussing now is a product, or the benefits we're going to gain from this alliance. And so we're going to discuss them more and more. That's why we said these discussions will continue. It won't stop here. We're going to have as much time. We're going to be coming together. We're going to be discussing. Mr. Olayomi will all be here also with us, and other ODUDUWA people. They will be coming. We'll be discussing, and we'll keep discussing. We'll keep discussing until we enter into our freedom before the end of the year. I believe in the ODUDUWA mandate before the end of 2023. We are talking about 114 days now, but ODUDUWA is saying before the end of this year. And Mr. Prince, please go on that.
Yes, with that mandate, I want to advise our ODUDUWA brothers and sisters, and advise our brothers and sisters in Biafra land. Now, one of the things they used to render us as slaves is religion. And they branded the Christ they brought to us as a non-violent Christ. Oh. Okay? They sold us a Christ that is non-violent. But let me
hold on, please. Hold on briefly for 1 minute, caller. And please switch off your TV set. Switch off your TV set and switch off everything you're listening from. Just listening from your phone, please. Caller, please listen to your phone, please, directly.
There is no way of muting that caller. Is it possible?
Okay, let me see muting. Okay.
If you can do that, so that I can finish this point, is very critical.
Okay, please go.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Please go on.
Now, they gifted us a non-violent Christ, a Christ that only spoke about peace.
Please go on. Sorry for that.
Now, let me introduce the true Christ that we're going to use to get our freedom. Okay?
2, 3, 4.
Are we listening?
Yes, please, go on.
Yes. I'm about to introduce the true Christ, the original Christ, the Christ that went into the synagogue and took a cane and drove away the people who were not supposed to be trading there. That is the Christ I want to introduce to you now, and that is exactly what we are going to do. That Christ never advocated for people to be offensive when it comes to violence. But that Christ actually is an advocate of self-defense. That Christ allowed Peter and the other disciples to carry knife in their pockets. That Christ was happy for the knife to be used at the appropriate time for self-defense. That Christ only criticized Peter because at the point Peter wanted to use that knife, it was the time that he knew that his time was up, and he felt that using that knife at that time wasn't appropriate. But that Christ allowed Peter to carry his knife. If there was anything called gun, then that Christ will have allowed Peter to have the gun. So what this means in effect is that we don't advocate for violence. So we're not asking people to go and start killing Fulani or killing anybody, but be prepared to kill anybody whose intentions is to kill you. Christ allows that. If a madman has become that mad that he wants to kill you, kill him first. You are free to do that. And this is not promotion of violence, and this is not advocating for violence, but every human being is entitled to self-defense. Life is the most important thing in life. That's why we don't ask people to go and kill anyone, but you are entitled to defend your life and kill first if you know they are coming to kill you. So don't be afraid of defending your territory and defending your land. Nobody has monopoly of violence. Nobody has monopoly of madness. We can all trigger madness when it is appropriate and when it is required. So don't be afraid. It is time for action. All we know is that we're going to do whatever it takes, whatever is necessary to make sure that Biafra comes and ODUDUWA comes simultaneously at the same time. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, caller, please, we're going to just 1 minute and just take about 2 minutes. We just want to make it brief so that we can allow our guests go. Yes, please, just make it 2 minutes and very quickly, 2 minutes. We'll take all in 2 minutes. Thank you so much. Please go on.
Hello?
Yes, please go on. 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. Please go on. You're live and direct. Go on.
Yeah, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. Please, you have 2 minutes.
Gentlemen. I need to thank you very much. My name is Maxim. I'm calling from London.
All right, please.
Yes,
go on.
I also need to greet Mr. Olayomi Koiki.
Okay.
You see, your coming together is the beginning of the fall of the Fulani.
Very well.
And I must tell you that the late Awolowo, I think there's a statement that he made sometime before he died, that before the Fulani will be the alliance between the Igbos and the Yoruba.
Very well.
And I could see that this is up to the beginning. So there is going to be a lot of distractors. Some from the Yoruba group, some from the Igbo group, trying to get some kind of report that this is this and that this person has made this statement, and just to scatter the alliance. Yeah, I think I have to urge you guys to be very focused, and please try and propagate this your alliance. Let it be strong, no matter how. Let it be very strong. Forget about all this backbiting, whatever. Be strong. I'm so happy that when I actually saw the first alliance speech between with Simon Epa and the professor, and also Koiki and all this, I was so glad. Actually, I'm not a Yoruba man. I'm from Edo State, and I'm so glad because we know that everything that's happening in Nigeria affects everybody.
Yes.
Not only the two major groups. I'm talking on the language. So please, I'm going to urge you guys to be strong. They are going to be really shatters. People from within the Igbo, within the Yoruba, go already. I've seen that a lot of things like that is going on. There is this, this statement made by a professor sometime in 2021, and I can see that somebody is playing that kind of. That is past, We are following it, please. Yes. I don't want anybody, you guys, to listen to rumors.
Very well.
And I'm happy with Koiki. Yes, he made that statement. He even spoke in English and Yoruba. Tell go and jump into the sea. So I'm so happy that this alliance will last forever in Jesus' name.
He said,
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. And we tell you we are serious about this alliance this time around. This alliance will be stronger and stronger. You're going to see us discussing together. We're going to see us talking together. You're going to see us planning together. As we talk to you, we are working together to make sure we get our freedom, as we have said, and we will get it. We know that this alliance is strongly embedded in the people, and it is a people's thing. It is not a political thing. It is not for the politicians. It is for the people. So we are strong in that. We're going to have 2 more callers. We're going to take. This is one. We're going to take another one, and then we're going to close for today because we're already 3 hours, and our guests have been waiting. Have been here for a long time. So this caller, please, you have 2 minutes. Make your point. 2 minutes, please. Just make it brief in 2 minutes so that we can move forward. Thank you so much. Please go on. Yes, caller, please go on. Yes, you have your time now. Running 2 minutes, please go on.
Okay. You said at the beginning, if somebody has a question, I would say there is no question because what is clear is very, very clear.
Definitely.
It will be more even interesting because there are people who are even too scared to come to face this reality, this truth, because it's not easy. Even like the mainstream media who are scared of doing this, tormenting them because they know the truth, but they are compelled and forced to do the otherwise. So this is why they will do everything to go against it. Now, the question, if I would have a question, would be, how do we get this into these followers and victims of the mainstream media who are the victims of this psychopath, who this humiliation actually does do in their mind? It excites them. You know, these people, our brother, Prince Iheanacho would say that these are people with the treatment. So because these people, this wickedness actually, they enjoy it. But secondly comes the money and the wealth. They don't want to lose the grip from our people and our development because they want to, of course, reduce the population. That is one big important thing for them. So the question I would ask is like, how do we combine to get our argument that is righteous, that defeats anything that tries to oppose it to these people who are scared of looking for such places, because the truth encourages you. There is a lot of courage in knowledge, but you know, these people are so scared of getting around, coming towards this place. So this is why they are really under the mainstream media. That will be a question. So how do we achieve this?
All right.
Is there a front we can kind of pull out to really, but that the mainstream media.
All right, let's allow our guests. Let's allow Prince and then Mazi Koiki to also respond to your question. I think they're going to take the time to respond to them. Please, go on.
Thank you, this caller, for that question. Very quickly, this is the answer I have for you and my brothers and sisters in ODUDUWA as well as Biafra. We are not spending time trying to convince anybody anymore. We are so spiritually based that we know that one with God is majority. The alliance will speak for itself. And if those in the mainstream media who are in the right place would join us, they will join us. If they want to remain in darkness, they will remain in darkness, but that darkness will consume them. We've gone beyond trying to convince anybody or convince any WHO, United Nations, or international community. We've gone beyond that. We are taking our freedom. So, my dear brother, rest assured as this alliance is here to stay. And let me, in metaphor, tell you what this alliance represents. The problems you see, including the mainstream media that are lying to people, they represent the cancers of this world. They represent the cancers of this world, and since time immemorial, we have used paracetamol to deal with these cancers. I can assure you today, God has introduced high-powered chemotherapy. So this alliance represents chemotherapy that will deal with these cancers in the way that it has never been dealt with before. On that note, I thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Olayomi, please.
Thank you so much once again to all our listeners and viewers from both sides of the globe of the world we are. Let me take us back again to Declaration and Granting of Independence to the colonial countries and people, Resolution 1514, and some of the solemnly proclaim the necessity to bring into a speedy and unconditionally end colonialism in all forms and manifestations. So what we are doing is we are trying to end the colonialism in Biafra land, in Yoruba land, in Arewa land, in the Middle Belt. So it's not just, and also then for the world. We don't want, Britain to be giving us, gift of what are called, different NGOs that have been set up, trying to help the people back home. We can help ourselves. We have the means to do so. Yeah. Somebody was talking about something that I wanted to talk from the last point of these, resolution. And I want people to go and have a copy of these. Keep it. Just as Prince Ezem said, at no point have we ever said nobody, or anyone should go and kill anyone. And I want us to always clear that, because what I've heard is, the Yorubas are, going to kill all the Fulanis and all that. No. We are not the terrorists. We don't do so. We have the right to defend ourselves, and we will do so according to the international law that says in America people go with guns to protect themselves. So just to put that on record, because I've also had people say, the autopilot and this motion that the Yorubas always put out there that the government have labeled IPOB as terrorist organization. Let me clear this today again. The main terrorist that we have is the federal government. It is not IPOB. So when the Yorubas are saying don't have this alliance because the terrorist government or the terrorist, the zoo or the Nigerian government have prescribed IPOB. On record today, no international community, no countries around the world, as far as I know today, being the 11th day of November 2022 at 12 minutes past 3 a.m., is prescribed IPOB as a terrorist organization. We know we have so many terrorists in Nigeria that the international community have run away. America actually said we will evacuate their people because there is terrorist attack about to take place. They've never said that the terrorist attack would be IPOB. We know that it is ISIS, ISWAP, Boko Haram, and so many of them that are brought in, to disrupt, their movement. Buhari and the government knew about the 2015 when they wanted to take out Jonathan by bringing in this influx of jihadis. So when people say, the autopilot, are aware of these killings of the military, in the southeast, don't listen to all these fake, brown envelope media that they have in Nigeria. So this alliance, we continue to tell the world that the genocide that is taking place right inside the Biafra territory and in our own territory and the northern part and the middle belt, we will continue to propagate that. But now to talk about the resolution 1514. Number 6 says, any attempt aimed at the partial or total destruction of national unity between the Biafra and the ODUDUWA and the territorial integrity of the country is incompatible with the purposes, the internal affairs of all states, and respect for the sovereign right of all peoples and their territorial integrity. So, as we almost going to be winding down, all I will say to those of us that are still concerned about this alliance, there will be more conversation, and there will be much room, where we can look at, we have actually gone to ICC. I'm aware that the Biafra have done the same thing. What can we do more, to tell the African Union, even though we know that the bully Nigeria continue to bully them, and put them to the side. But some of them will listen to us, but we will now go in one form, to talk to them. We will continue different conversation. But those that are thinking that, when we now get the Yoruba nation, the Biafra will then come back and won't take some of our land. Those nonsense will be thrown out of the basket, and we will not tolerate that. So that is all I can say for now. But again, the alliance, as
thank you,
not just on the social media, even behind the scene.
Yes, thank you so much. I want to thank my guests. Oh my, for 3 hours, 30 minutes. They have just stood and they have just done what they have to do for the people. In fact, we have to close it here because of the time, so that they can go and fix other things they need to fix for the day. They have just sacrificed this time for us. And I assure you, this is not going to be the end of the discussion. We're going to have more discussions. I told you initially that this alliance is not just going to end with just the broadcast, the press brief, and then we now have the broadcast, and then everybody goes. No, it's going to continue. That is why we have set the stage. And I tell you,
Kelechi, can I have 30 seconds?
Okay, please. I even thought that you have gone. I didn't know you are still online. Anyways, so please. Okay, 30 seconds. Okay, please.
I just wanted to save my time.
Quickly.
Okay.
All right.
Nega area government Ajambene Naso. We go there, ask them, Ajambene, this is chorus to their fairy tale. Yes, if Ajambene only take promises they make, yes. Ajambene, when they say one Nigeria, it simply means 2, 3, 4 Nigeria. Yes, in practice, it's Takia to fear. Your resources becomes easier. Only Biafra and ODUDUWA made the best and the Ariwa solution. Blessed Lord.
Thank you so much. That's the final, he has given us the final and the music to round off this program. Oh my God, I'm excited. Thank you so much. I want to thank Koiki, Olayomi, the director of KOIKIMEDIA, for showing up and giving us this opportunity to have him on this platform. And I know that anytime we call on him, he's going to be coming here, And I believe that this alliance, we're going to have more of others also coming in through him. Of course, going to connect to other ODUDUWA media, personnel, and I wish we can be having this like this every week, because the more we talk together, the more we are strengthened, the more we are together. It's very, very strange, all of that, and we're going to let you know how we're going to be running it, after now. So for now, I'm just telling all of you, don't worry, this is perfect. The alliance is told, nothing can change it. In fact, nothing created can change it. That's the truth. Nothing created can change it. I also want to thank Prince Ezem. In fact, oh my God, Prince has been so wonderful, always giving his time, here. And of course, we're going to still have this combination always, and more people coming in, and of course, more of ODUDUWA media personnel coming in. We're going to have, I assure you, we're going to make sure that we sustain this, and of course, increase the tempo. We're going to increase it. We're going to accelerate, beyond their imagination. Maybe they think it will die naturally. We're going to still have, they are wrong. Because it's not going to die. We know the secret to this thing. We have come to discover the secret to this thing. And intelligent people, brilliant people, those who are truly the technocrats and the professionals are in this thing now. And on the ODUDUWA side, on the Biafra side, those are the people piloting this affair. So we know what it means to be in alliance with the people they want us. We understand. As much as they're against this, we know that there's something in it. That's why they're against it. So definitely we're going to move strongly. So please, before we round off, I'm going to give our guests 1 minute or so, the time they need to have to speak to us briefly, you know, to round off and tell us something that they need to tell us to round off this program. Please, Prince, you can begin from there, please. Start off, and then Mr. Olayomi can take it from there, and then we round off, please. Thank you.
I'm rounding off by demanding from British government and Fulani government and all those in the contraption called Nigeria, especially those in Igbo land and Biafra land, who have hand in the continuous illegal detention of Nnamdi Kanu to release him now. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. And I say, long live Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Long live Professor Banji Akintoye. Long live Mazi Simon Eba. Long live Chief Sunday Iboho. Long live Madam Azuka Charles. Long live Olayomi Koiki, Koiki Media International, spokesman for Sunday Iboho, officially known and renowned. Long live Pastor Emeka Livingston. Long live Ambazonia. Long live Federal Republic of Biafra. Long live ODUDUWA Nation. And long live and thank you, Kelechi, for all the work you have been doing. May God bless all our efforts and bring us to that land of freedom, the promised land. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, Mr. Olayomi, please take it up from there.
Yoruba nation forever, Biafra nation forever.
Amen.
We should not lose focus. We are at the final lap. When the colony power came to our territory, they were probably not even scared to come into that territory and change the narrative. As we are about to change the narrative as well, the word scared and fear should be removed from the heart of every innocent person that is alive to witness what is about to start.
Yep.
It will become a reality. Those that thought it's just a social media thing, you will wake up in a Biafra land. You will wake up in a Biafra nation. Likewise, you will wake up in a Yoruba nation.
Amen.
Our gods are not sleeping, but they want us to activate. And this activation is about to start. Thank you so much.
He said,
Amen.
Thank you so much. I appreciate my guests, Prince Ezem Iheanacho, Mr. Olayomi Koiki of KOIKIMEDIA. I appreciate you all. In fact, I can't just say thank you enough for giving your 3 hours plus. Oh my God, 3 hours plus is so much to give as a sacrifice to educate the people, talk to the people, and of course, bless the people. I appreciate you, and we're going to come more. We're going to have them often. They're going to be here. We're going to set a particular time. I'm going to get back to everyone because I'm going to get to discuss with them before we set a time and a date. We're going to be coming together with the ODUDUWA and the Biafra together. We'll be talking and we'll be educating and reorientating at the same time because it is very, very important. Our freedom is non-negotiable. I've said it. And so please don't be afraid. Every question you have about what will happen because of this alliance, what will happen when we keep it, the next meeting, you can ask that question. Just think about it. Think about whatever you want to think about. Get the question together. The next meeting, you can ask them the questions and you're going to get the facts. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, sirs. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much. We want to appreciate you all. We say thank you all, and they say bye to you. Biafrans, thank you. I'm going to play the anthem, and then we close for today. God bless you, very good. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. So we go straight to the anthem. Thank you all. Thank you so much.